Risky behavior.
The views and opinions expressed on this channel are solely those of the host and guest and are intended for entertainment and discussion purposes only. This channel does not promote bias, hatred, or discrimination of any kind. All questions posed and thoughts shared are part of a critical thinking exercise and are not meant to offend or judge any individual or group. We encourage respectful dialogue and love for all. Please remember to think critically and engage thoughtfully. We aim to foster a positive and inclusive community where everyone feels welcome. Thank you for being a part of Risky Behavior ENT.
Risky behavior.
I said Miss Lita ain't been to the back to the room since I pissed her off. I ain't seen her.
What you do?
I don't know. I was just
you
oh
know, you know
I
what
don't know.
what you did.
Nah, I was giving my opinion on something and she said oh, she tried to say like we was talking about toxic masculinity. It wasn't even nothing deep. And she said,
Mhm.
I was trying to gaslight and say it was no toxic masculinity. But that ain't what I said. I said all of this is toxicity because half the stuff y'all say women do, I see men do. And like if you
Agree.
say a man do something, I see the woman do it. So I said, I see y'all doing the same thing. I don't know why people do that. So I said, just
Agree.
call it toxic.
But we were just having this conversation in the rooms with the ladies as well. They were saying, basically, she was talking about like sexual liberation. Is it harmful to to the women, for black women, basically? And I was like, really, yeah. If you think about it, that's why you got women in lingerie in the club, you know, or at dinner at 2 p.m. because my skin, my body, my choice type shit. It can be toxic, but I say again, not all women or men are toxic. So that's where you can, I don't know, you do got a point. So therefore, you can't gender it. It's just toxicity. You're absolutely right. But it's just in different forms because, you know, I don't know. Like for some reason, even with when you do have these conversations, you be quick to get called a hater if you tell a woman like, "Hey, I don't think you should wear that." How like it would be almost a sin to do that nowadays. They will consider you a hater, and I don't know, just the simple fact of people don't like accountability. And I said again too, we was talking about toxicity. I said I think people do it just because it's fun. It's easier to be evil than it is to be good, especially when you was born like that. So a lot of these motherfuckers ain't even human, but that's another topic.
I think she just didn't get my full idea because I don't I believe in that there is masculinity and femininity, but only to a certain extent because it doesn't make sense to me because if a guy is yelling and arguing, they'll say he's being feminine. If a woman is yelling and arguing, they'll say she's being masculine. So is yelling and arguing masculine or is it feminine? And so I just rather not entertain that those in certain conversation with people because the logic just tears apart once you really go into it. So when people do the toxic masculinity or the toxic femininity and they'll say, oh, like when these men are doing this, this and that, and I can see the same behavior in the women, I just rather say, hey, y'all all are being toxic and you should just cut
Yeah.
it out. Why make it a gender thing? Because what it does is it separates us because I believe in like minded people being on one accord and moving forward together. What happens is when we create the gender war, you push the man and women apart from each other. And you got to realize that when the women go to one side of the line and the men going to one side of the line, because you created that divide, you got bad women over there with good women and bad men over there with good men. No, don't do that. No, keep the good people together, the like-minded people together, and keep the bad people together. I just think that divide, people just take it too far.
Well, diabolical. Normally, when you see a situation like that or speak from that position, one thing I've learned is when they do the whole opposite situation where she's masculine, she's operating masculine, then he does the same thing and he's operating feminine. It has the same end result, and one is just looking for attack mode. In other words, the same end result is they both parties see it being disrespectful. You understand what I'm saying? So because both parties see it disrespectful, normally when I say you're acting masculine, that's my way of attacking you for being disrespectful. And normally when a woman says, "Oh, he's acting feminine," that's their way of attacking you for being disrespectful. You feel what I'm saying? So from both angles, it's just an attack mode because it both has the same ending result. Both parties are offended. And this is their
Oh,
way of attacking the situation instead of just addressing it the way it need to be addressed to bring clarity to the situation.
But have y'all ever
oh yeah, I
encountered
understand that.
somebody? Have y'all ever encountered a person who has full self control over themselves? Like they put on this good. Like I hate the word good guy. I hate when people say, "Oh, I'm a good guy." Why don't you give the good guys a chance? I hate that thing because have you ever met somebody that can? They don't have to yell. Like they don't have to scream, and they can still talk to you and degrade you in a calm, nice, sweet fashion manner.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I've met those type of oh, go ahead, my
For
bad, that
sure.
Paula, go
no,
ahead.
no, you go ahead. I was just saying, absolutely, I have.
I've met those type of individuals. I'm somewhat one of those individuals, but when you sit down and talk to these individuals, the journey they went on to reach that one was normally diabolical. The journey they took to reach that mindset, to reach that subtleness, to reach that calmness, to reach that when you listen to them, the shit they went through was diabolical on a serious level. And it's like they came out on a it's almost like they walked through fire and came out on some brass shit. Like it's a real thing.
And that's why I say, when y'all say the good guy, I don't really know what's a good and a bad guy because sometimes the good guy can be the bad guy too. And sometimes the bad guy is not always the bad guy. Sometimes the bad guy was the good guy.
Break that shit. All right, no, we not doing that. Break that shit down.
I'm telling you, like,
No.
But that is facts.
it
However,
is.
are you holding yourself and accountable to that perception? Like, are you holding yourself accountable to the part you play in that guy being the good guy or the bad guy?
No, I can't
Ricky,
do
can we
that.
have another
Not to say
word
that you're
in the
I don't do
house?
that.
controlling.
I be on the, I'm
I'm
talking, I don't deal with
Ricky,
that. So I'm talking about far as
Ricky,
like the outside looking in. Have you ever like
okay.
met, like, had a friend of yours, you thought he was a good guy. You like, girl, why you act like this with him? And then she breaks down to you like,
Yeah.
he beat me. You like, what?
Okay, yeah. But I
You like,
it
what?
yeah.
But you
I get
know,
that.
her, so you kind of start at it like you be
Yeah,
screaming. I ain't never seen
yes.
him scream or yell or none of that. Like,
Yes. And
yes,
but that's what I was saying. Like, oftentimes we fail to hold ourselves accountable. I'm not just specifying man or woman, but oftentimes us as people, we fail to hold ourselves accountable in the part we play in the madness, or what I'm saying, what we rebuttal to get a certain reaction type thing, or what I'm saying, you can pull madness out of any good guy or any good woman, or if you bring them to a certain statitude, you can pull the bad out of something good. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean that person is necessarily bad, but you can pull some type of bad stuff out of that person based off of who you are and how y'all interact. So, yeah, I've definitely encountered that before,
But wait a
for
minute.
sure.
In my book, last time I checked, it ain't a woman, child walking this earth that doesn't have a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other shoulder. So
Exactly.
by default, that's the reality of the world you live in. So if that's the reality of the world I live in, bad will always be bad and good will always be good. So you don't cross tracks. That's like saying love will always be love and hate will always be hate. And then I spin it on you and say, but I love to hate you. It's like pause, my nigga. That ain't how that works.
That's not what I said though.
No, but when I say a bad guy can be a good guy, but then a good guy can be the bad guy, that's exactly what's being said. When I say I love to hate you, that's crossing the
No, because
line.
love
That's
don't
crossing
hate. That's
tracks.
not the same thing, boo.
Explain
That's
it to
why I
me.
say it. Sometimes you don't always have to compare situations because they can't compete where they don't compare. That's not even the same thing. But I understood where you was going, but that wasn't it.
Well, I'm asking you to explain it to me.
I just did, and so did Golden.
Well, I don't think you
Well,
should
mm,
apply good or bad when it comes to relationships and looking for a partner. It's kind of like it kind of like when people always talk about like marriage, right? And they say like, "Oh, is it a good marriage or is it a bad marriage?" Well, it's good and bad is too subjective, and it what it does is it triggers you to go off your feelings and your emotions rather than to go off of a person's actions. So you should not look for a good marriage. You should look for a healthy marriage. You shouldn't look for a good partner. You should look for a healthy partner. And like even when people, because I know before when we was talking about like religion and stuff like that, and I think a lot of people don't understand life in general, is because we as humans have been taught feelings and emotions, so we go, oh, good, bad. No, really, you should look at the world as order or chaos. Your actions, the people you allow into your life, the decisions you make, the content you consume, the content that you put out there, is it creating order or chaos in your life, and then apply the word good, so you will know if a person is good for you or if indeed a good guy is. Are things in order? Is this healthy? Are you deteriorating inside of this relationship? Are you growing? Are you blossoming in this relationship? Because anybody can say, oh, they don't give the good guy or a nice guy a chance, and all this blah 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 blah, right? um because even when people say, oh, nice guys finish last, well, yes, they do, and they should, right? Because you don't get anything in this life by sitting around letting people step on you. You got to go after what you want, and that's why the nice guy um finishes last. So that's how I look at it. If you're talking about good and bad with good guy, good girl, bad guy, bad girl, I just think that's the wrong way to approach any relationship, be it friendship,
And I
business, or
never
anything
said
like
to
that.
do that. I never said, hey, y'all should. I never said that. Y'all be mansplaining shit, just trying to. I don't know, but
No,
no,
no, no.
but
y'all
I
be
wasn't. I
I
stretching it.
wasn't
think
debating
he's,
you. I was adding to what you said. I wasn't pushing back on you at
yeah,
all. Right.
yeah. I think he was just giving a different perspective. Rightfully so. You know, it's we all have different perspectives. Howeverly, I feel like it boils down to reciprocity. Like we all have to, like, you can, if you're being intentional with what you do, being intentionally a good person, being intentionally like giving to receive, receiving to give, and just being just this neutral good person, it doesn't mean you're gonna get like the same stuff back. However, I feel like the conscience is clear when you just, you're being intentional about it. So the good guy, bad girl, good girl, bad guy kind of retrospect, it boils down to like how you receive things.
And I totally agree with you, Golden, because as far as the good guy finish last, like Diabolical was saying, normally when I get told shit like that, I normally respond to niggas that say shit like that, like I didn't know I was in a race, bro. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like, so because and what it does is it shifts the dynamic of the perception of what they're trying to make it look like, because it all boils down to perception. If my intentions is just to do good, then I'm not looking for a return on my investment from you. I'm looking for my return on the investment from life. And I understand that it doesn't come when I want it to come. It'll come when I need it. So I look at being a good dude as this is an investment, or let's say this is a ticket that I might need later on in life. I don't know when I'm gonna need it, but because my genuosity exposes itself on a real level, and there's no false or malicious intent behind it, and I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for the fact of. You dig what I'm saying? And what happens is when you look at it differently, it moves and operate differently because it boils down to how you perceive it. And this is why I hate them fake friends. The friends that say I'm looking out for you, but they're looking out for you come with the intention of later on in life they'll throw it back in your face. Oh, well, I was there for you, what now? Well, if it was genuine, why do I have to be reminded of it as if it's a receipt on a return investment? So truly, you really didn't look out for me. So if
Right.
it was a business deal up front, why not let's be men and say that? Why lead with this fake ass what you perceive to be a friendship, and at the end of the day, it's you trying to capitalize on this shit, man. This shit is real. But all I'm saying is when you operate from a genuine position, a lot of that shit go out the window. That good guy finished last and all that other shit because it was never about you. It was about me showing you who I truly am on a genuine level.
You know, that's crazy. I heard someone said, "Oh, you're indebted to me." Can you imagine being nice makes someone be indebted to a person? I didn't know it was like some loan.
Even the word nice, Jay, the word
Oh, but
nice
I
Mm.
do agree
actually
with you,
means
Diabolical. I do
stupid,
agree
Mm-hmm.
with you.
Yes.
you know?
What you say, pumpkin? What you say?
I said, yeah, because even the word nice is actually a double word. It actually means stupid.
Yeah.
It
Well,
can
sometimes
be
I'm a
Yes.
based
lot of
off
stupid.
perception, though. That's a
I'm a lot
perception
of
based
stupid.
thing.
Literally.
Yeah, pretty
Literally.
said it's a choice, so I choose to be. I choose.
Yeah, hold yourself accountable, sis. It's like it's a
Right.
perception based thing. And I think that
Uh-huh.
oftentimes we don't recognize our own residue. Like we're all
Mhm.
generally considered equal when it comes to worth and rights. Like generally, like if we're considering the facts, right? So we all have should have mutual respect, shared decision making, and value each other's needs and opinions, right? Because these are things that are outside of our individual controls. These are individual things. Like I can control how you think. I would be crazy as hell to sit back and argue you down about your opinion or the way your mind thinks. I'm not in your mind. I'm not you, or you know,
Hmm.
these are morphed by our own experiences, our walks of life, and things like that. And that's where our perspective is built, right? So if you don't change your or learn from your experiences, your perspective is always going to be the same. And that's when the definition of nice and mean guy,
Hmm.
nice guy, mean girl, bad girl, it carries different definitions. We're not looking at the literal terminology. We're considering nice guy, bad guy based off of our experiences, right or wrong.
Schmelly, how did we
Absolutely.
get here?
Yeah,
What is the premise of
recap
the
because
I
debate?
don't know. Somebody
Please
I'm
said
not
recap
kind
the
of
something,
in
and
the
child,
debate.
I'm
room.
here. I'm
We can't
ready.
do this basic level thinking bullshit.
I'm
Huh?
a lie.
I'm
Now
confused.
let
What's
me
going
Recap,
on?
say
Because
let me say this.
Superman. Recap, Superman. Because I don't know what we're talking about. I'm
Somebody
lost.
said
I
something. I
don't either.
responded. Where we going with it, y'all? What's next for
Because that's not
us?
what we were talking
Well,
about in the
let
last
me
room.
Mm.
well I was we was in another room and they was talking about religion and stuff like that. And I genuinely wanted to know, and I think that's why we have so many arguments on this app. When it comes to religion, lifestyle, our relationships, just in general, why do we bother to debate with each other rather than build with each other? Because ain't nobody changing their mind. I haven't heard it not one time on this damn app. I don't think people change their mind. I think people believe what they believe and they stick to it.
Oh, Schmelly,
Well,
I've
wait a
heard
minute.
that.
Oh, my fault,
I
pretty.
don't
Oh
believe
no, it's
that. That's
okay.
why. That's
I
why I
just
said that, because I talk to a lot of people, and I'm not gonna lie. Like I like to see how other people think. Like I like to see. how people move out here in this world. I'm really a people person, and to the point where you might not necessarily tell that person, "Hey, I agree," but trust and believe later on they're going to be, looking into it. Like I really don't
Facts.
believe that.
Well,
Yeah,
believe it or
I
not,
do.
Facts.
and again, because the topic itself holds no right or wrong answer. You feel what I'm saying? You would have to really get technical for the question that's offered at that for that topic that really turn into a right and wrong. Because it's so many different avenues for why people debate. Some people debate just to be a fucking troll. Literally. Some people debate because they're questioning where they stand at and they don't know how to address where they stand at because they don't know what approach to take. So they'll debate you from their position of standing for you to give them some intel for them to actually challenge what they believe in. Because some people be on the ropes with the shit they be believing in. So it's so many different avenues you can take with why people offer debate because it depends on the person where they're at in life where you can actually get it. Because I mean shit, even I offer the I don't really say that I do debate, but I debate from a position of building. But what you'll see is some people like to debate because they hate the fact of what you know and they want to enforce what they're knowing to be the know-it-all.
I'm not gonna lie, Shmelly. You know, we've been on this app for years now. I've definitely heard people change, right? Like, I've heard mothers and fathers who were gung ho about sending their children to school. We had conversations, and now here we are years later, and they talking about the fact that they homeschool their kids now. I've heard motherfuckers talking about working a 9 to 5 for years on this app, and now you hear them. And we've had conversations in what they would consider debates about entrepreneurship, and now they're talking about owning and running two businesses. So of course nobody will ever come back to
Yes.
Kelly and say thank you for that conversation and enlightenment. That's okay, but I damn sure noticed the change in motherfuckers. And but like to your point, I think we should be able to share our own individual thoughts with each other without it becoming a debate, just an exchange of information and
I
knowledge.
agree. You know why? Because it's healthy. It's healthy. Individual resistance, like we resist new information that contradicts our existing views, right? Because it's not the norm for us, right? So when we do hear something, of course, we're going to contradict it. We're going to have some type of biased opinion, et cetera, et cetera. But when it makes sense and we actually apply it and it does actually make sense, it's like, okay, yeah, that information was accurate. It was right. And then that, that causes that ripple effect to where we're like, yeah, we're going to do it this way versus how we've been thinking. A lot of us are not open to other people's opinions and views and what they've been through.
You know
So
what
I
I'm
agree
curious
with you.
about? Thank
But
you,
I
sis.
do like.
Really quickly to the room. I'm curious, what conversation on Clubhouse has changed anything in your life? And be honest.
I had a conversation on Clubhouse about uh materialism, and people was talking about how, you know, putting money into clothes and shoes and shit like that. Like the best way to live is try to live below your means. And I disagree with it because I was like, yo, like, nigga, I like what I like. Like everybody got a vice, right? So I started to live beneath my means just to test it out for like a month. And I ain't like that shit. Fuck that nigga. Nigga ain't changed shit. I'm bapping. I went and bought a pair of J's today and another pair of Forces. Fuck what he talking about, nigga. I like this fly shit. I get fly for me, bitch ass nigga. You want to be a broke, dirty bum ass, Vans wearing ass nigga, Walmart shoe shopping ass nigga? That's on you, nigga. But this materialism life, walking around with these Alix backpacks and shit like that, that's me, nigga. That's T, nigga. Fuck what he talking about.
Oh, but really,
I
really
just want to say
quickly,
something
I want.
about.
I want to say something too
Hold
after
on, y'all. Let
him.
me.
Wait,
Yeah, I
Hold
want to
Papi,
say
on.
this.
Papi attack. Don't have a time. Wait,
Hold
Papi, what
on,
you
y'all.
say?
Hold on. Y'all can go. Y'all can go. Just real
Pops,
quick.
Yeah.
talk
When
now.
I
Okay. I
say
want.
debate, I'm talking about. I'm
I
talking
want to
about
say
y'all
that you could
core
like what you
beliefs.
like, but what I say about that is that there's another side of it.
We can't
We're
hear
not
Tyrone.
hearing
I
you,
can't
Papi.
hear.
Eh?
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me now?
What you say?
Hold on, I
Uh-huh.
said,
Wait,
hold
Okay,
on. Let
diabolical.
me.
We trying to hear him. Then we gonna go to you,
I
Pop.
said I said
Wait,
it's good
Pap. We
it's
gonna go
both
to
way like you
you.
said.
Wait 1 minute.
It's good to live under your mean, but it's good to live above your mean. But what they mean about that is about how you.
What was you saying, diabolical?
It's like he gonna keep going. This is why. This is why it hasn't changed nothing. This
On
app has
material
made me
things,
hating
like
people.
buy nice shoes, nice car, nice stuff like.
Anyway, so I was saying quickly when I said debate, I'm not talking about light conversations, things about business. I remember we was talking about religion before, so I think it's always going to cause an argument because I think when it comes to people, these are the things that would rock their very existence if they believed differently. And so I just don't think they're going to change their mind on it. So why debate it? I believe in building. Like I've sat in rooms with atheists and had great intellectual conversations, and we kind of talked about things like, "Hey, what do you think this means? What do you think?" But never debated is what I'm saying. I don't believe in debating, attacking, like pushing back or anything like that. I think it's always going to end up in an argument because that person, even if you showed them proof, their brain would not let them accept it because it would shatter them completely.
Smelly, do you consider that conversation or debate that y'all had about beating women and beating kids? Do you consider that a debate?
Yes.
The
Okay, so
beating children or
y-
beating the women.
both. It was during the same conversation. Remember that? What your perspective was and what their perspective was, remember?
Yeah, that was a debate.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. I got something from that for sure. And I made a major change off that conversation. So, I don't know. I think that was a phenomenal point that you brought up, and the way you drove that home, it was extremely logical. I had no choice but to go with that going forward in my own life. So I could be honest about that.
What, whooping your kids or not whooping your
Not
kids?
whooping them.
Yeah, no, I ain't never seen you whoop 'em.
I'm done.
Mm.
I
But you know what? But I liked everything that everybody said. So y'all keep going
like
ahead.
what Kelly said. Kelly said it's a
I was only talking
choice.
religion.
Every time people say, like, like what Punky said nice is stupid. I said it is a choice. I chose to be the stupid one. So from now on, when people say you a hoe, it was a choice. When
No,
people
I
say
didn't mean
you
to
are
say it like
broke,
that, Jay.
no, girl, I'm making a joke. I'm making a joke. Don't worry, girl.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
and
but I didn't mean to tell
When
you. I
people
was
say,
gonna
when
tell
people say,
you. I was gonna
when
tell
people
you
say
about
you
that
broke,
actually.
wait, one second. Okay, maybe lad, maybe lad. When they say you broke, it been a choice. When they say that you go better in this, it is a choice. Amen.
No, I was saying somebody had actually like taught me, double working and stuff, and I didn't believe them until witnessed it in real life. Like it was like, damn, people really do that. That's crazy. So no, I was just saying like you would be surprised how other people operate. Is basically what I was saying. Like because at the end of the day, everybody be panicking because that's that whole lost thing. Like they don't know who they is because we're just on the planet type shit, and people be trying to figure out how the fuck we here and whatnot. So
Period.
you
Because we
know,
don't we don't have the right to tell others what to believe because we honestly can't know what exists for real. We just know our own personal journeys. Like that makes no sense. Like who am I? Who is anybody to tell someone what to believe, what religion, what how to be, how to act, how to we don't know. We just
Well,
operating on our own shit.
wouldn't that boil down to your position in life? And I
Yeah,
say that because I said
exactly.
if a government exists for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
kingdoms existed for a reason.
Right.
It was a reason why I needed you to believe because it also exposes the control that it creates. And if I'm coming to conquer, once I conquer, I need for them to believe what I need for them to believe, so they keep so I don't have a trouble with the power of shifting dynamics when I feel like it. So if we look at
However,
today's society,
mhm,
if the social if understanding the social construct and it's becoming an over sexualized society, by default it became an over sexualized society by them over exaggerating certain things that you believed in.
What?
Mm.
So in other
Oh,
That's
words,
why I
you took,
believe
Hmm.
as far
the
as
same.
love, we took love and marriage and things of that nature, and what they did was they shifted the dynamic to keep to make to force you to focus on the things that was shunned at one point. So now, because we're focusing on the things that were shunned at one point, and people did this to overexert their little excitements. People hold and trick for little excitements, but because it was shunned, it was kept in the closet and it wasn't as dramatic. But the minute
What
they
do you?
got comfortable with them forcing it in your face, and I say forcing it because they did force it in
Hmm.
your face. The minute they got comfortable with forcing it in your face, where it's created now is a comfortability for it. So now we don't shun it no more. It's more so first it was lightly accepted to the point it's damn near totally accepted.
What are you? What are you speaking on? This I feel like you're trying to say something without saying something. What are you trying to
like it's,
say?
yeah,
Like
he's speaking
gay,
What
indirectly,
gay,
but
I
not
already said,
directly.
or
over
like what?
sexualized society. So when you get into the
Yeah,
over
yeah. Oh,
when I
oh,
the
okay.
and the reason why I say listen to what I'm saying, that because listen,
Gotcha.
when I say over sexualized society, think about how many, because again it's no apps, it's so many avenues you can take when you go from the broad level of it. So in an over sexualized society, think about how many avenues you can take to manipulate that, because they all got the same ending result when it comes time for manipulation. It just boils
Hmm.
down to the avenue they choose to take to get there.
However, now that we are here, it is completely out of our control. We are in Gen Z, XY, whatever type of times. Like we're already here. It's on social media. It's everywhere. Okay, the society is over sexualized. So, being that this is a stipulation right now, what's next? What's next? Because I get what you're saying, and it makes I agree wholeheartedly. However, now that we're here, what's next?
The controlling of the population.
How so?
For one, that's why they put it in your schools. If I
Mm-hmm.
put, but and this is coming from at this point. Now we can get into step down into technicalities as far as the rainbow community, the LGBTQ community. This is why they force it in the
Okay.
schools, because you got to think about it. If I'm coming from a same-sex marriage and this is what I'm promoting, what I'm also promoting is what's the word I want to use without being disrespectful? Let's say
Oh,
stagnation,
okay.
or lack of, when you can't have kids. If we're preaching same-sex marriages, what happens now is you're sterile. I just sterilized you without actually coming out and sterilizing you. So now, as opposed to me being in a position where I'm trying to convince you now, because I sterilized you, the only thing I can do is recruit now, because I'm not trying to promote having children. So what happens
Oh,
is when I go out to these schools, I'm recruiting these kids, because if I can convince you to be okay with same-sex marriages, what happens is now I enforce the whole controlling of the how population works later on. Because if you don't, like, look at it now, what they're saying, oh, the kids are getting smart, they're not having kids anymore, and yada yada yada, and it's like, but you're
what?
also seeing a growth and what they was preaching in school with the same-sex marriage thing as well.
That's a
So
lie.
if you
So
These
seeing a
young
yeah,
combination
bitches,
so
between, and what we,
so
these young girls be 18 with
yeah.
5 fucking kids.
well, what no,
Hello.
but you're looking at, what you're doing is you're looking at, and this is what they, again, I'm not trying to have an anecdotal conversation, because you're looking at from the position
Mm,
of what you know, as opposed to looking at the overall view of really looking at it, because birth rates are actually down. So when we get into the technicalities of it, you have to take some sort of ownership for, if the control of population, I don't start with the adults, I start with the children.
Oh my God. So I agree with the children, but I think that you can say that, but Toys R Us and all that shit been closing years ago because women was not having kids. It's more than just that. It's the simple fact that minimum wage is still $7.75. A lot of people's choosing not to have kids because it's minimum wage is still $7.75. You
Well,
know?
let me ask you this, Miss Hawkin. If you want to come and bring it from a financial position, poverty between the 80, I'm gonna go back as far as the 70s. We had the strongest population was back when poverty was at its worst.
Yeah, and they didn't have nothing back then either. Versus
But you
today, we
just
forgot
said
the
they're
fact
not
they ain't
having
have
babies
nothing.
today for the
They ain't have
same
nothing
reason
to
they
do
had
but
them back
fuck.
then.
They didn't have nothing to do but fuck. Basically, they ain't have as much as the stuff we got today. That's literally my answer. That's my honest opinion.
But even when black people were poor, we still had more than what we have now. We might not had the best looking schools, but we had our own
Substance. We
schools
had
at least.
substance.
Yeah.
We
So
had substance. We ain't got
And
no
standards
substance.
and morals, yeah, ethics, yeah, all of those are fucked.
We had substance, and it's not a lot of substance going on now. And even to brother's point, it's like, when do we hold ourselves accountable for? We know kids are sponges, right? When do we
Mhm.
hold ourselves accountable for the fact that it can be a whole lot of things presented in our children's faces that we don't want to be presented, the sexuality, LGBT, all that type of stuff, floating around in this world, right? When do we hold ourselves accountable for raising our children to not adhere to certain types of things? People, we're going to do what we're going to do regardless, but as children, we we're on a mission. Like, we are assigned to literally morph these children's personalities. If you're their mom, their dad, or the immediate person in their lives, they're in your environmental control. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're feeding them certain things that obliges the surface of the world right now. The bad stuff, the bad parts, right? But at the end of the day, as they grow, we have little to no control. We can instill a lot. We can do our part, instill a lot. However, when they go to school for them 5 hours throughout the day, or we have no control throughout that part. We can only instill so that they can know what's right, what's wrong, and what's in our upbringing, what's religional at this point, and et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, we will be a fool to
All right,
think
well,
that we
Golden, are
have
we
total
going?
control.
I got you, but is we going to talk facts now, or are we going to keep
Yeah, go
saying what
ahead,
we
go
ain't
ahead.
got?
Don't be
Fact
disrespectful,
is,
but
the
we can do
average
that.
parent and this is why I'm saying we're talking facts, because to make a statement
Okay.
like we have told we have no control is
I
BS.
didn't I didn't say that. That's totally beyond what I just said. I didn't say we have no control. I said we have the control to morph their instill things in them, basically.
So what's
We have
stopping
the
it?
control to instill things in them. However, when they are outside of our premises, like AKA in school, for unless you're homeschooling all day or whatever, but if they're outside of our control, which they will be at several points in time in life, what do we do? All we can do is instill what is supposed to be in them, right?
So how do you know what you've instilled in them is working?
We would know by their actions. That's all. That's how we would know, just by their actions.
And if you would know by their actions, how would you know if you're not around them? You're
We
saying
would
by the
know by
but
their actions based off of when certain circumstances or situational kind of aspects present itself. We would know based off of how they react to certain things. I'm saying that instilling certain things in them. I'm not saying we can control them, but we can instill certain things in our children that could make them think like, hey, I'm not gonna do that because I was brought up
and
this way, or you know
how has a society affected that part?
heavily. And I just emphasize that heavily. That's my whole point. My whole point is all we can do is instill the goodness in them. But they are going to go and walk into society. And when they walk into society, that is their choice at that point. We can only do what we can do, which is instill the goodness in them. When they go into
And I'm
society,
only
it's up
saying
to them
this,
to choose to use that goodness.
and I'm saying this because again, one thing
Mm-hmm.
society has induced,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see it in the children and in the parents, all in sync as one, is
Mm-hmm.
convenience. Convenience creates a laziness. A lot of these parents today are just lazy.
I
I
agree. I
agree.
agree. I agree.
So a
I
lot of these
Totally.
agree.
parents today, they'll
I
throw the
agree.
tablet. I done watched them throw the tablet in
I
a child's
agree.
hand. I done
I
literally
agree.
sat back and went to the stats and watched the percentage on how on the tab on the children tablets and things like that. To get the average kid
Agree.
today is 5 with a cell phone.
Totally agree. I agree.
And what it does is it keeps the child occupied so the parent can pretty much move how they want to maneuver.
I agree.
So because of this, you really can't. How are you instilling what's in what how your child
Those
is really?
type of parents are not instilling. If you giving a kid a tablet to occupy their time, you're not instilling nothing in them. If you're those type of parents, I'm not referring to because they're not instilling
But question, those
anything.
type of
I'm
parents
talking
are.
about the fluent
But now
ones.
when I and the question I ask now are
Mm-hmm.
is those type of parents the
Okay.
majority or the minority?
They are the majority. I'll say
Majority.
that. They're majority. I agree. But I was just referring to the me part of the situation. But yeah, they are the majority. I agree with that. The ratio is very slim to none when it comes to the fluent versus the none. I agree with you.
And that's where you say like laziness, and I agree on that as
Yeah.
well because it would be so easy for us. Like we complain about the TV shows, this, that, and the other, but nobody's really doing anything. Nobody's making anything, and that's crazy because I actually do want to make a cartoon show on YouTube. Like I know how to draw and everything, and I'm in the middle of
I
putting
love
it.
that for you.
Yes, girl, I want it to be to where, different kids can relate to different scenarios. Like, I really love the kids. I be throwing parties for them and everything. Like, I always speak on how, you know, a lot of kids don't realize what they doing is bad just because the household, it's normalized. Like something that's so normal to you might not be somebody else's normal, and they don't see
Yeah.
that until they get around situations. So I be telling people I don't even blame the kids when they out here acting up. I just know something's going on at home,
Yeah.
and somebody.
But girl, it ain't always just something going on at home. You do realize that part, right? Or
I
you
do,
just
but that
speaking
means
on
somebody. When I mean that, I mean
uh
somebody at home ain't being attentive because you can easily recognize your child wouldn't be acting like that.
hold
And
on,
it's
honey.
literally it's a cry out for help in some way, shape, form, or
Yeah,
manner,
yeah, yeah, that's
and
true.
it becomes repetitive to the point where if
That's
you was
true.
to tell somebody like, "Hey, your child's acting up," and they don't act surprised, like, "Hey, what's going on? That's not normal. Like he don't do that." It's a continuous behavior.
So what do you do when it's like a single mom or a single dad and it's like the child acting up? How do you perceive
Honestly,
that?
like I was saying, a lot of these parents is acting up. So they don't even care. Like you can't even go to the parents and I'm 28 and I
Hmm.
be trying to have my daughter with her little friends and meet her moms and goes to skating rink and it be so hard. Like these girls don't want to do nothing with their kids, okay? They don't go to the park. They don't go to Disney on
However,
Ice.
let me
They
give
don't
you
go
this
they don't yeah,
tea.
they don't go to Disney on
In
Ice. They don't go
retrospect,
bowling.
but listen to this. In retrospect, I am 32 and I have a daughter. She's 11. I'm sorry, she's 12. She just turned 12. She's 12 now. And I am surrounded by fluent mothers, single, some married. And we all go out on play dates. They have their husbands. I have my son sometimes with us, like, and my daughter. I am around a very healthy group of parents that are single dads, single moms, married dads, like type of situation. So, what do you do in that retrospect? It's like either way it goes, whether it's healthy or not, society has a major influence and impact on these kids. It's like as parents in general, we can only instill whatever. I'm sure our parents instill certain things in us, even at this big grown ass age, a grown age, they instill things in us. And we have obliged that at some point in our life went against the grain of something, whether it was something very tedious or major, something that they've instilled in us, we've obliged it, right? No one can attest that. Like, it's happened. We can only instill. It's not a matter, in some situations, it is, and in some, it's not. You can be a good parent, but the way society is set up now, you got to think, honey. I'm 32. I didn't grow up with no. We didn't have internet. Was not like this. I had MySpace and like we were outside. We went on TikTok and all this, Instagram and all that. None of this was even available or thought of at that time. You feel me? The world is very different now. It's very different. A lot of things are very accessible to these children. They in school with different type of people, kids that's raised on a different spectrum. It's a lot. It's a lot. So it's hard to there's it's no way to control that. I feel like you gotta just stay prayed up and steal the good stuff in these kids and just hope that they do what they're supposed to do.
I think that's the
Seriously.
issue, right?
I think that's the issue
Okay.
as well. That's
Yeah,
the
hold on,
What
real
problem.
what's the
quick.
issue?
The issue is
Okay.
what the issue is when you say like you just gotta,
Mm-hmm.
it's society, you just gotta stay prayed up. The issue is
Mm-hmm.
you need to have an active role, in my opinion, an active role in your child's life, right?
That's
Let's
what
think
I'm
about it. Like
saying.
everybody's parents, nobody had it easy. You feel me? Everybody had to go through something.
Uh-huh.
I grew up with a single mother myself, and I got my
Mm-hmm.
own, things going on with my mother. But at the same time, it's like if you're in an environment that would produce a normal functioning human being, then the odds and chances will be better. Because when you talk about like it's society these days, it's the reality for certain groups of people, not the reality for everyone. You know what I'm saying? There's kids who are college bound. There's kids who are 25, 26, married now. There's kids who are in
Mm-hmm.
positions of power because they were set up and they were brought up in environments and put into positions like that. You know what I'm saying? And you mentioned affluent parents and whether they married or single. It just
Mm-hmm.
depends on what you can do. You know what I'm saying? If your
Mm-hmm.
kid is going to a school where they don't have that influence of an inner city school in, you know what I'm saying, any city USA, and you could afford a little better, it just depends. You know what I'm saying? It's not a cut
But
and dry blanket statement
it
towards just
is.
society, because society does have an influence, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
environmental factors could prevent
Mm,
certain things, you know what I'm saying? That's my personal opinion.
exactly. But it's always gonna be, if I live in the suburbs right now, okay? And that doesn't mean that my children don't go to school with people that wasn't brought up in the maybe they just moved to the suburbs. They're not accustomed to it, and it's just different. Like, you're gonna my main point is you're going to be at some point faced with the influence of some BS.
We
As
all
a
were too,
child,
though.
as an
You said you're
adult,
32, right? You say you're 32?
I am.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
I'm 36, so not
Okay.
not that much older than you. But the point is, we all grew up at BT, and you know what I'm saying, and
Mm-hmm.
106 and Park, all that shit. When I was coming up in middle
Right.
school,
Right.
we all
Right.
had influence. I
True.
mean, my cousins was in the streets. We all had influence. That didn't
Right.
necessarily mean we all took the same path that people
I
made. You know what I'm
agree.
saying? So so
I agree.
so so the point is, I guess the point is of, and maybe we could have a more charming conversation. But the point is
Mm-hmm.
accountability, right? For the
Right.
parents, you made the children, whether you plan your
Mm-hmm.
children or not. Hopefully, if you plan your children, you can have enough money and put them in a better position. If you didn't
Mm-hmm.
plan your children, that's just life. Now you got to hurry up
Right.
and figure it out so that they don't fall
Right.
to the wayside. You feel me? Because I
Right.
get it. Right now, it is worse because with
It
technology and shit,
is.
all they doing is watching YouTube and drill shit and all that. At least
Yeah.
back in the day, dudes wasn't flaunting guns like that. You knew who
Yeah.
was bad, you knew who wasn't. But now it's
Right.
like everybody thinks that's the hip thing to do. I got a 30 on my waist, and that's gonna get you
Right.
smoked. Like we never did no shit like that because we
Right.
pretended to be too bad. We knew that there was real consequences, but I feel like kids don't know that these
Right.
days. Kids these days
Mm-hmm.
think that the too bad is the thing to do, but they still
Right.
get the real consequence. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like they
And they
don't got a
ain't
lot of
ready
sense.
for it. Yeah.
Exactly. But my point is, the point I was trying to make is like, it's not just society from what you were
Mm-hmm.
saying. You feel me? It's not just
Okay.
society. It's a lot that could be filtered in a lot of ways you
I
can
agree. I agree. And
shelter your
maybe I'm
child.
I'm maybe I'm not speaking as fluently as I'm trying as I feel right now. But it is a matter, I know everyone has a choice to do. You know what's wrong, you know what's right. Right? You know what you're supposed to do, you know what you're not supposed to do. I get that whole accountability thing, of course. But what I'm saying is in totality, I feel like, you know, we are in a different type of time space, and I feel like as parents, what more can we do? We can only raise and instill. Like when your child get 18, you can't get a belt and beat them because they did the wrong thing, or like they have to learn and grow through the experiences. So I'm not blaming society, I'm not blaming parents, I'm not blaming even the child. I'm just blaming choice. Like, yes, everyone has a
Huh?
choice. It's life is life
How
in
do you blame
life is
choice
life
when
in.
choice is the exposure to who you are? It's decision you make that lets me know where you stand at in a situation. So
Yes,
why would
but
I blame that
hmm
choice when why would I
hmm
blame choice when choice would be the very reason I understand things?
choice at the end of the day, choice is the very reason you understand things. However, when you made that choice, you knew you had a definitive
Don't
point.
sass me,
You
woman. Don't
knew
sass me,
what
woman.
was right and what was
Don't
wrong, and you
sass me,
still
woman.
made
Don't
that
sass me.
choice. Okay, I'm
I
sorry.
think that's
But
what
you
I said.
did. You just knew. You knew what was right, you knew what was wrong. So you made that choice. So I'm not blaming you, but at the end of the day, you blaming you cuz
You
you made
have
that
to blame you.
choice.
What good is accountability?
Yeah, that's what I'm
This is what I'm
saying. You
saying.
blame you. You made the
This is what I'm
choice.
saying. What good is accountability if you're not willing
Mhm.
to accept where the blame lies at? See,
It's your
for me to
choice.
own my right. So how do you blame choice?
I don't know why I
It's
try.
see if
What?
everybody was making good choices, then we wouldn't blame
Mhm.
choice. We would love choice. But when everybody's making bad choices, now for something we hate choice.
I'm like, am I maybe honey, maybe I'm just speaking wrong cuz I
You initially
agree.
said society. No,
I'm
you
trying to
initially
see.
blamed society, but now you're
No,
blaming
I was
choice. You
not
did.
blaming society. I was equating a society to how these kids are making certain choices and what's like I was equating society to accommodate with choices that are being made by children. I was just basically saying like we can instill all the goodness in kids, right? As parents. However, they're gonna make their choices, which they should hold themselves accountable for, based off of society, and it's so many factors to it. I'm basically saying we can't blame parents because we're
Here's the
instilling
thing.
ultimately
In a
goodness in
microwave,
children,
here's
Well,
the
I
thing. In a
think
microwave society,
trying to at least.
but
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing. In a microwave society, this is what happens with choice. If I instill my kid, instilling my kid to do good, but I'm also operating where it's in a microwave society, it has to happen now. It's an offset there. So I don't think it's more so instilling your kid, not just instilling in your kid, but
Mm-hmm.
allowing your child to see what you've instilled with him in
Facts.
operation that
Facts.
actually plays a major effect. It's like I
Facts.
see, I instill in my child to save money, but I never showed him what it looked like.
Facts. I agree.
And then I expect to throw him out there in the world, and well, I
I
instilled in you how to
agree.
save money, but I didn't give you a formula to work from.
I
It's like when
agree.
I was younger, my a lot of my OGs, we was in the streets heavy. And one thing while we was in the streets, a lot of my OGs, they showed me how to work with my hands. And they said, listen, if it ever comes a point when you decide to walk away from these streets, you got to have something to fall back on. And what it was when I started using my hands and I started enjoying it. Before I knew it, when you know when things went left and it was like, all right, I'm done with these streets. Before, I was a carpenter.
Mm,
So you got to understand how these things work. So people,
mm,
if I instill things in my child, but I don't see them, I don't
I
show them
agree.
how it benefits them, the things that I instilled in my child will fall to the wayside.
I agree. I agree with that. You have to walk it like you talking. I agree. I agree. I agree with that
How can I teach
wholeheartedly.
my son how to be a gentleman and I'm out there acting a whole asshole? But
I
this is what you
agree.
don't do, son. That shit don't add
I
up.
agree. I agree. Wholeheartedly, I agree with that. For sure. I do agree with you gotta walk it like you're talking. You have to be a replica of what you're instilling in your children. I do wholeheartedly agree with that. But then even when you do that, then here comes society and different type of personalities and school and bullies and pressure and all this type of
That's not a
stuff.
problem because see, when not only did I
Hmm.
instill it in my child, I showed him. So what he gets to do is put it to work in his own little way. See, my
Right.
objective, my when I instill it in you and show it to you, I'm not saying verbatim this is how you do it. What I'm showing you is how to come up with your
The
own
blueprint.
craftsmanship for what I showed you.
The blueprint.
Yeah.
Facts.
So
So when they when they
when
make
these
their own choice, then that's where accountability comes into play, huh?
On the parent, accountability on the parent. I agree with
On
what
the
Solution is
parent,
saying.
even though
On the
they've
parent,
showed them and walked it,
on the
how they talked it, it's the
but
parent is still
you're
but
accountable.
yeah,
yes,
for sure. But it's he's
because
a
How?
that's
camp
your
because
because
this
that's
is
your
the
child.
accountability. When a
That's
child gets older,
crazy.
this is what happens.
That's
Because
crazy.
you showed the child the blueprint, as it get older, when it does make mistakes, it counteracts with a solution, and the solution is part of what you showed it. So not only does
So,
it own that, but so again, when a
mm-hmm,
kid make a bad mistake, it's
mm-hmm.
because it's at once it, in my book we're talking about children. We're not talking about young adults and adults. Because once we start talking
Okay.
about young adults and adults, at this point, man, it's on you. You got that mechanism in you to a certain degree that lets you know what's right and what's wrong. I don't have to tell you not to steal. It's something in you that goes off knowing you know better. Now the voice, now how you choose the darken that voice, eradicate that voice to go ahead and be comfortable with doing what you know you're not supposed to be doing. You can't fault me for that. What you can use is the excuse of some bullshit you went through when you was a child. Let's call it trauma. To okay your fuckery. But as a young adult becoming a mature adult, it's time for you to take some
What's
ownership
the
of
age?
shit.
What's the age? What's the age bracket? I need to know that part because I feel like we're speaking on children and young adult mid age. Like, what's the age bracket so I can know how to conform to the conversation?
When you say age
Because
bracket as far as
as far as what we're talking about, because he just specified we're not talking about young adults. We're not talking about teenage.
I
We're
said
talking
we're
about
talking
what?
about
Like
young adults
toddlers?
and no, I said we're talking about young adults and adults. And the reason why I say young
Right. So
adults,
it
but
okay.
and the reason why I'm saying young adults because again, once you reach your teens, this is the point where you start smelling your own ass. That's what grandma called it, great grandma
Yeah,
called
that's
it, all
true.
that. So
Yeah,
this is when you start walking into the thinking you know every goddamn thing. So
exactly.
at this point,
Yes.
because you think you know every goddamn thing, you got to be held accountable as such. You don't get the right to say you know every goddamn thing, and then when you hit a brick
Facts.
wall, blame mom. No, we ain't blaming
Facts.
mom, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
You knew everything.
Right. So when you all just said yes, then you blame the adult still after you have walked it how you talked it as the parent and you've instilled it as you talked and walked it. Y'all still saying blame the parent. That's crazy as hell to me
You can't blame
because
the parent at
if
that point.
someone just
Maybe
said
I
that.
spoke wrong. That was me. Maybe I spoke wrong. I
I,
apologize.
I,
Yeah.
I,
You
Okay.
I,
can't blame the
I
parent.
think I think the parents is responsible for the child all the way till the child. Hopefully, the parents die before him. This is my reason why I say that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is my reason why I say that. The reason why so because a child grow in stages, and as the child grow, you the parent you grow in stages. So when the child reaches some age, like at the like he said, as a baby, you give him some knowledge. And then after that, you set him out in the street. Then he have to experience those knowledge. And then now when he experience those knowledge, they come the so-called obstacle of life that we all face. That's why you see most of the kids have problem because they leave home early, which is 18. 18 is a baby. 21, you still a baby, you know. But if you look at it, the child, he's facing some trauma as you 42 or you 52 or you 62 have a problem fixing it. So when that child is facing the same problem, and then you let him say, okay, you figure it out, you set him up into a more disaster because now there he needs you as another different knowledge. It's like, okay, now he reached 21, he married. Okay, now he got marriage problem. That's a different level. So now when he facing those, he come to the house. Now the daddy got to tell him some stuff about marriage that we never have a conversation before. You know, then times go on. Then he got babies. Then when the baby come, now there's another problem.
Hey
Then
Pat,
uh,
I said this earlier. You can't cut that avenue with it. See, it's not about the kid. 18, he's too young to leave the house. Yes, the fuck he is. He's old enough to leave the
Yes,
house.
he
See, the
is.
problem is at the age of 18, you start to realize you didn't do your homework properly to set that child up properly to leave the house.
Facts.
And what happens is he hit boiling points where he got to operate from a position that he can't understand. But if I set him up properly, then what happens is there's a space open I left for him to process things correctly.
okay,
But if I leave him out, if I rush him out the house at 18 and I haven't even set him up properly to think on certain levels and this, that, he go right out in the face in the world from a fucked up position. So in a process, it's all about leaving that space open to process things. You ever notice you process things differently depending on the jam you're in life? When you're in survival mode, it's hard for you to process from certain mindsets because there's not enough free space in your mind to do it. So when you set a child up properly, what you do is you free up space in their mind for them to calculate and process correctly. But when that space isn't free, what happens is the process gets filtered through the wrong tubes. That's it.
I
And
hear
they
you.
start making fucked up decisions because they're in a jammo to whereas though now where they can process it through a clear understanding, they're processing it through a survival mode position.
I hear you, but
Okay, let
what I'm saying
me.
is this. This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is about the child, about raising the child. You see, what you say is about setting him out. Okay, good, 18. You're supposed to know better. Go out. Okay, that's good. But what I'm trying to explain to you, different stage. Some stage they are home. Some stage they have to go. Okay, but some people are not ready to go. You as a parent, you have to know the difference. You can have 4 kids. They all are not the same. Some are ready to go, some are not ready. So you as a parent, you have to build the household, which is what I mean a household, meaning what? You build a kingdom that is secure. Security meaning what? You are able to house all of them for lifetime. That the fact that
Mm.
they have a home, that no matter where they go, no matter what problem they face, they could come back home. That's called security. And then that child now, he is free. Free of what? Free of, okay, I could go test the word and I could see what's going on. Then when I see it, oh, I failed. Most of us fail and we hit the homeless shelter. And then most of us fail and then we hit the street and start slanging and hustling because we don't have nowhere to go back that give us a confidence and some called words. What word? Words of wisdom. Meaning what? Let's say the nigga go in the street. He hustle. And then he try, let's say he get out of car, this shit ain't go right. He hit the road. Then he trying to do his thing, figure it out. Then shit, his homeboy like, man, look, I got a few pounds here, a few this shit. Homeboy pick it up and start slanging. Then he's like, man, fuck this shit. I want to get out of it. Let me go back to my mama and them house, bro. That dude got a choice. But what about the other nigga who don't got nowhere to go? He's stuck over there. He got to hustle. He got to make it. He don't got a choice. See, that's what I'm saying. We the parents, we are the one who need to fix it. How we fix it? We get right. We build a kingdom for them so they know that we have to take care of you till you dead. Meaning, not just that. After you do that, You are responsible to die and leave them money, to leave them security. Bro, this thing is not just, man, I dropped the baby, I give him one age, 18, nigga, figure it out. It's all done and said. The man got to figure it out. No. This thing is about, it's like you running a hurdle. Your ancestor got to go get it, make it work. That's why these white people leading, man. Look, look, where the white people live, their kids don't live at home at 18, my dude. They stay. They come back and add more in that family
Why are you
and
so
build the
aggressive?
kingdom. You know what I'm saying is that, look, all the thing is us. We man up the parents. We man up all the way to death. Meaning that when you die, your kids still thanking you, saying, damn, man, now I'm 50 or I'm 40. Man, I thank daddy for what he did for me. Because now he have become you. He have learned everything you have taught him. He have fucked up along the road. Now he become you. And then you left him with more power. That's
No,
how
you
you
fight.
supposed to be.
No. He doesn't become you. Where you get that shit from?
Become you. Look,
Explain that to
becoming
me.
you meaning what? A bloodline, bro. Becoming you, your bloodline. Your kids represent you and any place of you. So now you want your kids to look like you, and your kids will be you, 50 your wife, and then him. That's what make him special.
Right.
But
That's the same thing you was just telling Golden. You just sat there and told Golden that if basically if your kid do something, it goes back on you. That's literally y'all. You know
Okay.
what? Never mind. I
That's
ain't
why I
saying
shut
nothing
up.
else.
I'm
Hey,
staying
Pap,
on mute.
hold on, Pap. Hey, Pap, I just want to ask a question, bro. Not to stray from the conversation. Where are you from, bro? I can't place your accent, man. You from West Africa? Where you from?
man, I'm from all over, man.
Nah, you
I
Where
did
talk
did
not
you
about
say your
niggas.
kid
originate
becomes you
though?
though. I
You
didn't
talk
say
about
your kid
niggas and
become you.
slanging packs, but your accent, I'm wondering where you from, bro. I'm not
man,
trying to be funny. I'm just curious.
man, I'm just like you, man. I'm from all over, man. Just put it like that,
All right, it's
man.
all good.
If I put identity on it, it makes it
I just
boring.
didn't know if they
But
was
one day you
slanging
know my
packs in
identity.
Sierra Leone or wherever, bro, and you know what I'm saying, and nigga, I'm just saying, I'm just curious, but okay.
Nah, bro,
Anyways,
keep listening to me too long. You gonna figure me out. You gonna know me as long as you can figure. As long as you listening, you gonna peep me out.
And back to
And the
your
reason why I
don't
took
start.
the
Don't you
what the
start.
reason why
Don't
I
you
didn't say
start.
that.
Hey, don't you start. Don't you start. Cause no, sir, I will not allow you to do that. Because no,
Who,
you
me?
did sit there and say, if listen, you can say that like, hey, that I didn't say that they will become you, but obviously your kids are you. It's your DNA, is what he was saying. Your kids wouldn't be here without you.
You want your kids to be
Listen to
you.
what I'm saying. I hate when we take that's a highly broadened position, which I get because the DNA is coded and yada yada yada. But when you get into the reality of what's being said,
Oh my
because
God.
I'm
The
my
reality
this
is we tired of this conversation.
I mean, because I'm my father's child doesn't make me my father. My father is my father, and I am who I am. The codage. This is why I hate when we got to take that road of getting super technical with the approach, because it's a reason why it operates from a certain position. So for him to make the statement of you are just like your mother when she was fit, that's bullshit. And don't sit here and tell me exactly what I said, knowing I know exactly what I said, because I didn't say that. But if
The
that's the way
word
you
talent,
felt
you
as though
talking
I
about
said it, then it was only
technicalities
right to
and
question
shit.
me as if I said it that way. But don't
Why are
tell
you
me I
guys
said
so
something you couldn't
heightened? This is a
comprehend the way I said it.
healthy
Right.
conversation. There's no reason to be super heightened and
I do
crazy.
understand what
Like,
you're
we
saying
cool.
though.
I'm not
I understand
hot.
what you're
I just hate
saying.
when people tell me what I'm saying as opposed to asking me. That's all.
But that is what you said though. You just want to be technical. You one of them technical motherfuckers. You gotta be like, hey, technically it's not cold outside because it's not snowing. But you like, nigga, it's windy out
It's
here. But it ain't
that's
cold.
not it. You tried it though. It was
I'm
a hell
not
of a
Yeah.
gonna
try. You
lie,
tried it
Miss
though.
Hawk. Miss Hawk, technically, he was not the one that said that.
Well, I don't know what's going on. I'm
It
just tired
wasn't.
of
It
this
was someone
fucking
else. They left
these
the room,
bubbles. And
but
I feel like
he wasn't
everybody's
the one
saying
that
the
said it.
same shit. I feel like everybody's
Golden, you a
literally
piece of work.
saying the same shit.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. No, I'm saying so. He wasn't the one that agreed with what I said.
But I understand what you're saying as well. I'm just saying. I want another conversation. What's the next topic?
at this point because I'm kind of over it. Next.
I don't know, guys. Schmelly?
No, Kelly. Let's see.
I don't know. I don't have no tea. Oh, I got a question. Should you participate in other people's delusions out of respect?
Here she go. Wait, hold on. What's the context? Like,
You don't change the title, Kelly?
No,
Kelly
you can
is
keep it the
funny as
same.
hell.
So for example, if a fat woman wants to be acknowledged as skinny, should we do that out of respect? Or like fit
Girl,
should we
hell
do that?
no. No,
People do it
ma'am.
all the time, though. People do it all the time.
Unless you want to have fun with
Mm-mm.
this shit, like you can have fun. That's called bidding. Where we from, you can bid all day
No,
off
that's
that
not
shit.
right. That's not right.
I mean,
No.
some women call, you know, you
Yeah,
know,
we know.
But here's the thing though. Here's the
yeah.
Hey,
thing with that
pretty Kelly,
scenario,
you
right?
tell straight. Yeah, you skinnier than a motherfucker. I can hardly see you.
Oh, you
But
trying
here's
to
the thing
be
with that scenario.
funny.
Hold on, Golden. Here's the thing with that scenario, right? Like, in the context of what, like, just general life, because a lot of times, let's say, for example, if you go to like a club or something, right, and you got like a group of 4 girls, you got one big fat one, and you got, you know, 2 regular ones and one
No,
skinny one. You
no.
know what I'm saying? Oh, not in that context.
No, no, no. You wouldn't get into the clubs that I get into if that was the case.
No, no, no. Oh, okay. I'm just
I'm
saying.
just
I'm
playing
just
with
talking
you.
in general. But what I'm trying to say is right. Like sometimes if somebody, if I was to be like, damn man, that big fat ass, you know, all the friends are gonna feed into her delusion. To your point, to be like, oh no, girl, she's
Yeah,
a
she's
10. You know, girl, you
pleasantly
look pretty.
plump.
Girl,
She's
you this.
thick
Yeah,
in all the
exactly.
right
But it's that's
places.
right. But that's delusion in a sense. You know what I'm
100% it
saying?
is.
And the same with men. You feel me? But men don't really do that too much because somebody will tell you as a
Nah,
man, like,
y'all
bro,
be
you got to just
doing
get
it
your
to each
shit
other.
together.
Stop.
Yeah. Nah, not really. I mean, my homies be telling me like, bro, like if I'm saying some shit to where it sounds like a fairy tale, they gonna tell me like, nah, bro, you gotta get your. They ain't gonna break my feelings
Man.
to the core, but like, get your shit together, bro. It ain't gonna be
Y'all's
no
barbers
cuddling and
be fucking
coddling
y'all
me.
up talking about,
Okay,
I
pushing
see
it
you.
back and all type of stuff. Like,
I
come on
just be
now.
wanting to know, like, on the behalf of the thicker women community, Kelly, bitch, why does it matter if a motherfucker is fat? Like, why do you feel a need to tell her? Like, I don't know. Like, a lot of women do have the same insecurity as being too skinny. I heard these conversations. So for you to be like, hey, you are really skinny, they have like body fatigue problems. I just feel like, what's the, like,
Because you're fat
why
bitches,
y'all
you're
don't
gonna
do,
die of diabetes, and somebody should tell you before you die.
I mean, ho, you can die of anorexia too,
Yeah,
bitch.
no,
So
I
you
would
might want to
never
eat a
be
burger,
anorexic.
bitch.
So
That's true.
I'm like
That's true.
perfection, right? Because I know the difference between fat and skinny.
And a lot,
So
and
I
just
like
because you little
fit
don't mean
Can
you're
we
right,
see
healthy.
the
Let's talk
right,
facts.
body? Can we see
right.
the body?
No, I think that's weird. But it
You
is
can see mine,
publicly. It is public.
no
But
problem.
neither here nor there. No. My point is that should we call people or address people as being pleasantly plump, thick in all the right places, when in reality you're fat and you're on the verge of diabetes? Should we be
Girl, just
honest so
say
they
you
don't
a hating
die?
asshole because not all fat people got
No,
diabetes.
no,
You a
no.
weird
Not
bitch.
I want to say this though. Not all fat people are on the verge of diabetes. I want to say
Right,
that
that's
just for the
stupid.
people in the back. I'm not attesting be healthy. However your healthy looks, cool. I love it. You're all beautiful. However, fat does not equate to diabetes.
No.
Educate
It definitely
yourself,
doesn't.
sis.
I'm
Have
being
y'all
funny.
seen that?
I'm being funny.
Have y'all seen that
Educate
TikTok
yourself.
video that girl did? This girl did a TikTok video of like all the fat people influencers, and it was sad because literally all of them are dead. Like she was, she did a
Well, I know
compilation.
PTR. I know Kelly think I'm a big fat hippo
No,
ass
I
body
never
built
said
bitch,
you.
but
What is happening?
I'm on the verge of diabetes, y'all.
I mean,
Cause
at
I'm
this
thick in
point,
all the
maybe
right
I
places,
am too.
bitch.
Cause girl, I'm a little thick now. I'm
I'm gonna
thick,
be
I'm
honest.
thick,
a
but
thick
Pumpkin just
Madonna,
wanted to
bitch. I
show
don't
her
care.
pumpkin.
I'm five
Baby, I'm Big
five, and
Mama
I'm
Kelly.
thick.
Kelly, I'm Big Mama,
I'm gonna
baby.
be
You just
honest with
wanted to
you.
show your pumpkin.
Hey, Pumpkin, I'm gonna be honest
Right,
with
and
you.
she
That
knows she ain't
hold
big.
on.
She
Let me be
thick. She
honest with
not
you. Let me
big.
be
No,
honest
but
with
that,
you.
like, I don't know, like, What, Kelly? What would be your
Pumpkin,
definition? I'm asking you sincerely. Like,
Yeah, cause my body,
pumpkin.
yeah, I'm
Let
a
me say
little
something real
bit
quick.
too, girl, a little
I'm chubby.
something,
Like,
but no,
I'm
me
a little
too,
thickum.
just a little
Pumpkin, that
bit,
is
me too.
pumpkin.
I ain't gonna
Pumpkin,
lie,
that is not fat, pumpkin. That is perfect. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
what
So
I'm
Okay,
you
so
don't
saying.
you're
PTR,
not in that conversation,
But you
PTR.
my
know
Let me
what?
personal
explain
See,
opinion.
and
something.
Kelly said that.
Let's
Kelly
All
said
I'm
your
PTR,
saying
version of
is
thick in
your
all the
gut
right
is
places
where.
might be
Hear me out.
delusion.
Hear me out.
girl.
Your
Post a
gut,
non-blurry, like
your gut.
not. That's
Hold
not,
on, hold on.
girl.
Wait. Why are you
Kelly,
talking over me?
give us another one.
Your gut is where most. See, here's the thing though,
Oh
too.
my
Like, I'm
god,
not trying to post OnlyFans pictures without being on OnlyFans. It's kind of crazy. But no, here's the thing, right?
Pretty
So
Kelly
your
is a
gut
I
is where
know.
most of
troll.
the fem.
She's a
First of
troll. I
all,
can't.
wait, what is happening? Why y'all talking over me? I don't do that to y'all. So anyway, your gut is where most of the diseases and issues like build, right? So it's important to have a flat stomach, right? It's important to have a small waist. It's important to get your midsection right. That's all I'm saying. So to sit there and tell somebody who's fat and is probably about to die and is really sick that they are sexy is a problem. You're killing them. You're supporting them killing themselves. You're assisting in suicide, if you will.
It's okay, girl. It's okay. We know you go to the gym.
No, no, no.
Listen, I was talking about
Barely,
like the
girl. Barely. Them knees is knocking, girl.
No, no,
It's
no, no, no. So I'm a
different.
National
You need
Academy
a
of Sports
leg day.
Medicine
You
You
missed
need
certified,
the
Friday leg
bottom
right?
day,
half is
boo.
not giving what it's supposed to
So yeah, so
give.
yeah, so yeah, so
I
yeah.
can lose
I
30
don't
pounds and
understand.
my stomach could be the same as yours,
And
boo.
look
No,
good
Not
it's
too
as
not.
fuck,
much.
Miss
No, 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 it's not the
Hawkins.
same, baby girl. Wait, what's
Thank you,
happening
boo.
right now? So it's 32 double J tits natural, right? Which none of you bitches have,
That's
if we're being honest.
cute. You
And
really a
the
pick
waist
me
is 40 and
weirdo.
the waist is 26 and the ass is 40.
Th-
So it's different over here. It's right
Congratulations,
in the
love
middle.
bug.
You feel me? And
Congratulations.
145
And
for the
your
waist.
black and
So
white
it's different over
Android
here, if we
blurry
being
ass
honest.
picture.
I don't get your
Congratulations,
bit.
sis.
It's not right. It's
And your
it's like
black and white
woo,
Android
right?
picture.
Instead of like, oh
Congrats.
God, no.
The
So I
fuck?
don't know
You
what's
look
happening right
weird.
now. But neither here
Why
nor
are
there.
y'all
Bitches with
acting
ugly
so
faces. I
triggered? She
don't know.
didn't call y'all fat. She didn't
She
call y'all
did
fat.
I
What are you
call
didn't,
her
doing?
but you see
fat.
what's happening,
She
Ain't
right?
called
no
her
People
y'all.
fat.
take
I ain't
things
said
personal
nothing. I
because
was
they
She
haven't
speaking
called
really
filled
her
in on their
fat.
diabolical.
sexual
Low
needs for
key.
years. And they're waiting for an opportunity.
Diabolical. It
But the
ain't y'all
difference
because
is
I was
they've never
fucking with
been
her.
married, they've never been picked or
But she's
chosen.
talking about
And at
measurement
the
like
end
this
of the
bitch
day,
is a
they can't
construction
really see.
worker. I
So
love
there's
this.
always that. Oh, I couldn't
But
hear.
no, y'all over talking and won't her
This bitch
let
over
her
here
land.
trying
And
to
I've
flex
seen all
this wide ass waist. Her waist, your waist is not
Oh, my waist
hourglass,
isn't
boo.
wide. It's a
It ain't
26-inch
hourglass,
waist,
boo.
sweetie.
You doing a little too
What are
much
you
for me, my
talking
liking.
about?
Bitch, you got too
I have
much
a
chip in your dip.
26-inch waist, sweetheart, and
You
32
are
double J
obese to
natural titties.
a
You
white
could
man. So a
never.
white man, you would have
You
too
could
much junk in
never,
your
right?
trunk,
And it's
boo.
all natural. And my ass is fatter than yours. If we're being
Your ass
honest,
is not fatter than
right?
mine.
It's
Right? And
not
Let's
it's
make it
that,
clap.
real.
sis.
Let's
And
have
It's
a
it's
not
clap
real. That's
that,
the
song right
real
now,
sis.
part.
bitch.
So here we go. But the difference is I don't look for validation on Clubhouse from niggas I'm never
Let's
gonna
hear
be
your
with.
ass
So
clap.
that's where we're different. And also I didn't get fucked by more than 3 niggas in my lifetime. So we're just different. And that's
Mm.
okay. That's okay. You got fucked and left and have kids and are single mothers, and I'm not. I'm married.
Girl,
So we're just
I'm
different.
not.
That's
Don't have
all.
kids,
That's
boo. Is
all.
that because I'm black? Is
Right?
that because I'm a black
No, that's all.
woman?
No, you
You
got
think that I
fucked,
have
hummed
multiple
in, and
kids,
dumped and
bitch?
left. And I
You
get it.
nasty
I don't know what
Latina.
your life is
I
like
can
Y'all,
when
hear it
you're
in
a
your
stop
single
voice,
it.
mother and
bitch.
in
Stop
the
it.
miserable. I
Stop it,
couldn't
If
y'all.
I
imagine.
Stop
eat
it.
avocado for
Stop.
But I
breakfast,
Stop.
I
respect
will have
you.
your body, boo.
I
It
respect
ain't
you.
nothing.
Your body
Your
is
Stop.
body come
perfect
with.
for coming in and
Y'all.
leaving,
I
right?
can go.
For
I can go to
impregnating
doctor
and then
right now
disappearing,
and get that
right?
motherfucking body.
Miss
So
Get your
that's
body, and I
okay.
will
Hawkins,
get a
stop
free
But here
tequila
it.
and
you
wine,
are.
bitch.
Stop
Here
it.
you are.
Stop. Stop.
I'm
Stop. Stop.
sorry.
Stop,
It's
y'all.
okay. You
Please.
are a single mother, and it makes
I'm
sense. Look
not a
at you,
single mother,
Stop,
right?
boo. I have a great
y'all.
father in
Stop
my
Oh,
life. You
so
tried
it. What
it.
again,
are
they got
y'all doing?
upset because I'm
You
talking
tried
Stop.
about fat
it.
bitches, and
You
they
just
took it
said because
Stop.
and
your waist
decided
is
to feel some type of
matching
way.
Miss
mine,
And that's
bitch.
okay.
Hawkins.
I'm
Miss
gonna let them
Hawkins
talk
with
because
the
at the end of
pink
the day,
ticket.
they're still
Stop.
single. with no man and a child.
Y'all
Right?
stop.
Single mothers
Y'all
sending
just
their
stop
kids
it.
off to
Stop, stop,
schools that
stop.
they disagree with. It makes no
We
sense.
understand, yes, all that.
Golden,
Y'all just
golden, golden.
stop.
Hold on. You know what Kelly said? She
My
asked the
daughter don't
question
go to
about
school,
delusion.
booty, but you thought you knew
She didn't
something,
talk to
Miss
No,
y'all.
you're a
Kelly.
single
I wouldn't
mother.
tell you what color
You're
socks
a
I got
cum
on, ho.
dumpster.
Like I
You
said,
couldn't latch
I
Oh
the
could
my
go
man
to the
down. You
doctor
didn't want to
gosh.
give
tomorrow
him the
and get
Y'all,
pussy.
your
You
this
got
body, and
is
it would
married.
turning
come with a
real
That's
free
what
ghetto
Modelo,
and
separated us.
bitch.
weird.
It would
Right?
come with a
Stop.
free burrito
That's what
tacos, ho.
separates us. I get married
Hello.
first, then I fuck. We're not the same.
Girl, fuck
Right?
yo, Takis, pussy smelling ass,
Not
bitch. No one
Takis.
cares what you
Takis.
talking about.
Hey. Takis.
I don't even know what
No one
Takis are.
cares what you talking about.
Okay.
Cause I
Can
Pumpkin,
just
we
you
get
got
said
back to
pumpkin. You
healthy
got to work on your insult.
conversation?
Okay.
Y'all
I don't
Anyway,
care. That bitch
chill.
could have said that any other
No,
type
you
of way.
felt
She answered.
hit. Just say you felt hit and you responded. It's okay. Just chill. You're not fat. You look
Kelly was
I
good.
know
actually
I
going
ain't. But
somewhere.
this bitch
Kelly
You
was
said,
look
going
good.
somewhere.
Just
listen.
relax.
The thing is
She
that the
has
bitch
started
is
off by
ignorant and
saying, "It's
illiterate, which
thick."
is
If
why
you
all
tell,
she
hold
does is
on,
go
bitch,
to
shut up,
arguing.
green bean.
So
Relax.
unfortunately, the bitch is illiterate and ignorant, and that's why all she does is go to arguing and basic relationship concept conversations. She can't and is incapable completely of having an intellectual conversation, which is why she shouldn't be in these rooms. Because no matter what we talk about, she's going to divert it to relationships because that's all she knows. But yet she's not good at it, which is why she's a single mother. Am I right? Of course I am.
Nobody
So
said
I
nothing
would
about a
prefer
relationship, bitch.
to
Are
have
you
Oh
peaceful
my
okay?
God,
relationships
y'all.
with
Are you
intellectual.
Please.
okay?
Please.
Taco Bell, Chipotle, quesadilla, bitch. Are
I'm
you
not
okay?
Spanish. I'm black like you, but I'm built better than you.
No, you not, bitch. Saying all that
Get it?
racist,
Get
poverty
it?
ass shit, bitch. No, you're
I
not.
could never
No,
be
you're not.
poverty. I could never.
Your accent
I could
gives
never.
motherfucking Chico,
I
bitch. No, you're
know
not.
you have the
No,
worst
you're not.
insults in the history of life, ma'am. I would love to
I
know
just
your
Damn, where
think
the
name.
it's
Feel
hell you
July
like,
a
at?
can
weak
y'all
bitch.
chill the fuck out? Like, just relax. It's
I just
cool.
think it
It's
was
cool.
weird for
It's
her to
cool.
come out
It's
and be like,
cool though. Just
your thick in the
chill.
right places could
Right, right,
be
right, right, right,
delusional for the next
right.
nigga. So,
We
I
Fifth,
get
need
guess
it.
y'all
what,
to
boo?
settle
You're
down.
delusional.
Next.
I need y'all to
Next.
settle down so
Just
Kelly can
chill.
finish her point. The
Yes,
fat,
just chill.
skinny thing was just an example to a bigger point, and we never
Yes.
got
Yes.
to get there. Let's not go
Just
to the
chill.
bodies, okay?
Right? I thought we was joking till a bitch got too much, and so I got
Yeah,
too much too.
no, you fell here a little
Well,
bit. So just
Kelly is a big health advocate. She has
Kelly
multiple
is a green
videos
bean head
on
asshole. No
on
one cares about
YouTube.
Kelly.
She has a fantastic body. Okay, so let's just
Fuck Kelly's body, bitch.
Oh
Kelly
man,
fuck
this
your body,
serious
bitch.
girl,
business.
y'all just chill. This is
You
a
are
healthy
what's going on? Where's the
conversation.
love?
Y'all
Kelly
Cause
just
fuck your
pumpkin,
body,
chill.
bitch.
nobody knew
Waiting on
what
the
your
love.
body pumpkin. Nobody knew what your body looked like, so she couldn't have been talking about
And
you.
your body looks
I know, so
She
I
good. Your
couldn't.
asked
body looks
her.
Thank you,
good,
Diamond.
girl.
I
You're
Just
asked
a
her,
relax.
appreciator.
listen, right? So I asked her, are we not in the same
When
room?
people don't have anything of
And
intellectual
this bitch got
value
to
to
talking about
add, they argue,
I got
right?
kids and shit and
So
baby
But
daddy time. I was like, this
answer
nobody,
bitch is
answer
weird.
is
listen,
simple. I don't
nobody.
even want to get deep with dummies, right? Because they have no value to add. You know what?
Girl,
Pumpkin, I
you
give you
came
the
on
mic.
it when you even
Please
said the
add
topic.
value
You
to
was
the
like
topic and the
delusional and
conversation
all that
so
shit.
we
You
can
aggressive
actually share
wanting to
our
be
thoughts
submissive,
and
pick me
have a
ass
deep
bitch.
intellectual
You would
conversation.
be you the
One mic
reason why
on
I hate
you.
niggas. You would be my
One mic
favorite
on the
stupid
cum
bitch.
dumpster single mom.
I would pick you up late at night in your
Not your
motherfucking
favorite.
car, bitch. You would be my favorite stupid bitch.
One
Kelly.
mic on the cum
Shut
dumpster
up.
single mom.
All this over a delusional question?
Yeah, because this hoe's
But you
delusional because I
see, because
didn't feel no
she
type of
got
way.
triggered. You get what I'm saying? Because it
I didn't.
resonated
It's
with
what I'm
her,
telling
so
you,
she thought I
bitch.
was talking to her
I be
personally,
on this
and I
motherfucker trolling
wasn't.
with
And
y'all
she's
all the
very
time. Be
ignorant,
for real.
so she has nothing
Bitch, I could
intellectual
Yeah.
never
to
let
add.
a
So all she wants to
spicy
do is
Taki
talk
Oh,
Latina
shit.
y'all
bitch
got
make me
green
mad. Are
beans.
you
Why y'all not
okay?
muting?
Fuck
One
this
mic on
hoe.
the
That's why
cum
I ain't
dumpster
muting.
single mom.
So what? This happened after
I'm
you
not no
asked the
single mom,
fat
bitch.
question? Was this
I have
asked
my
after
baby
you
daddy
asked
on
the
this
fat
motherfucking
question?
mic tomorrow.
I could
Fuck
tell
is
you
you
when it
talking
happened. I
Baby
could tell
about?
you
daddy,
when.
not her
Hold on. I
baby.
could tell
Can
you
y'all
when it
I'm not no
happened.
just, this
single
is a
Baby
bitch.
healthy,
Are
daddy,
you
not
supposed
her
to be
okay?
Hold on.
baby.
healthy.
One
Y'all
mic on the
just
Are
baby
you
mother
chill.
okay,
instead of
wife.
Oh my gosh.
Girl,
Golden, hold
fuck
on.
your jeans, fuck your
Miss
camera, fuck that
Hawkins.
gym you
Miss
in, bitch.
Hawkins. Miss
Listen.
Hawkins.
Remember,
You
Kelly,
bad,
Miss
Kelly,
Hawk,
Kelly,
chill, cause
okay?
I'm about to
Just
spit on
mute
that
it.
bitch.
pumpkin,
You
chill out.
bad.
Look
Remember,
at my
Just
Kelly.
name,
mute it.
hoe. Asking
One
you,
mic on the
bitch.
baby mother.
Listen, hold on,
Hawk, chill
Kelly.
on
Kelly
your
asked.
hoe.
Hold
Yo,
on, Kelly asked the question, right? Kelly asked the question about delusion, and I'm the one who said, is that in a context? And I used the example of the ladies at the club, and the one fat girl versus, you feel me, and whoop de whoop, and then it kind of spiraled out of control from there. You know what I'm saying? No one was talking to nobody
Yeah,
specifically
she
on the
was just
stage. We were talking in
I
general.
didn't
responding.
say
We were
they
talking in
didn't, but
general.
she was talking in an aggressive, jokingly way. I did the same thing, and motherfuckers feel some type of way.
I
That's weird.
had
I
no
was just
clue
No,
what
playing.
you
to
look
be
like. You took it
honest, to
personal.
be
Why would you
honest,
take it
to
personal?
be
A hit
Don't
is
hurt me.
gonna
honest.
holler
I'm
all
not, bitch. That's what
day.
I'm trying to tell your
Listen,
motherfucking turkey
Miss
eating
Hawkins,
ass
please,
bitch.
friend. When Phil asked the question and Kelly spoke, you are obviously, and I'm on the, I ain't big now, but I'm thick. Okay. However, when
PTR
she
Goldie.
responded, I will. When she responded, it felt like you felt hit a little bit. I'm not saying you look really good when you PTR, dead ass. However, you
Thank
felt hit
you.
and you took that shit as she was like coming for the big ones, okay? And you reacted and responded, and hence the conversation right now. I don't think that she was not coming for anyone specifically. She was just speaking based off what Phil said. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
she can be a bit much, but she was just coming off what
I
Phil
was just
said.
fucking
That's
with
it.
y'all. You talking about I feel some type of way? No, I
No,
don't, bitch.
but you was
Okay.
fucking with your response was like real personal. You was targeting her
The way she asked the
specifically.
question, though, when she asked the question, didn't you say what?
I did say what?
Thank
However,
you.
I
What
did say
question did
what?
I
And you just
ask?
messaged
However,
me 10 minutes ago saying
I
Kelly's a
did,
hating ass
I
I've
bitch.
never
did,
been a hater of
and
an
I
ugly bitch with
did
a
because
cute
she
wig.
was
I've
doing
never
too
been a hater of
Because
a
much.
you was
single
doing too
No,
mom
much,
she
that
bitch, and I
kept
was
her
just
wasn't.
playing
fucking
with
She
baby.
you.
was
I've
doing
never
too
been a
much.
hater of a bitch that don't have a ring. I never been a
Look
However,
at
hater
her
of a
now, bitch. We
complex
just
evaluated
talking to
Callium.
bitch.
you.
And I never will be.
However,
You hating on
listen,
yourself. You
she
are a fucking
was
Can I?
doing
illiterate,
too
autistic bitch.
much.
And that's why your comebacks are fucking
Oh
trash.
God.
You should
Okay.
kill
Whatever.
yourself. You literally have no reason
All
to
right.
live, sis. And I've been trying to be
Okay.
You see
kind
what
to
I'm
you for a
saying?
long
No,
time. All you've been
Kelly.
doing is hating on motherfuckers in this room. Now you want to move
No.
to me? That's a bad deal. Because at
What?
the end of the day, I'm always going to throw facts
Okay.
at you, and facts are
Shout
going to
out
kill
to
you.
me for
Opinions
making
don't feel
another
like
bitch
nothing,
crash out.
but
Bitch,
facts
you the
kill you.
troll
And the
tonight. Ha
fact
ha,
is, you
bitch.
let a nigga
We
come in
switching
you and
positions,
get you
bitch.
pregnant without
You
you
the
being
troll
his
tonight,
wife.
hoe.
You are worthless.
Congratulations. My
You
real
are
friends just
nothing.
pinged me. I'll
When
be
you
back,
sit
Kelly,
there with
bitch, to
your
play in
child
your
at
ass.
night and look around
I'll
and
be
have
back later to
nobody
play in
and
your
want to
ass,
give
bitch.
up,
Don't you
bitch,
worry.
follow that gut feeling and give the fuck up. Your life is worthless. That's why no man wants you. That's why you haven't been married. That's why you post pictures like that and niggas still don't bite unless it's to come in you and dick. You are nothing.
Bitch, stop
The
self-reflecting,
truth
hoe. Go write
hurts.
that shit in the
The
journal,
truth
bitch.
hurts.
No one
I
cares,
know,
hoe.
mom. The
No
truth
one cares,
hurts. When
bitch.
you a worthless
No
bitch,
one cares
the
about your
truth
life story,
hurts.
hoe. Go sell that
When you
bullshit
look like
to
that
Tyler Perry,
and you look at
bitch.
somebody like this,
Go
the
call
truth
Tyler
hurts.
Perry, hoe. No one
I get
cares.
it. I get it. When you a dumb bitch and you can't even combat what I'm saying intellectually,
Girl,
god damn, the truth
you
hurts.
are so
You gonna
angry,
be all
Kelly. I
right
ain't never
though.
heard you
One
talk, bitch.
day, but that day could
Congratulations.
change today. Okay? You felt some type of
Yay.
way. I was saying something that had nothing to do with you, but you got hit because you're weak.
Shout out to me for making another bitch crash out tonight. Y'all are seeing this
Oh,
shit
you
live and
couldn't make
exclusive.
me
I do
crash
this
out. Why?
shit.
Because I raised
I'm
my
not new to
voice?
this.
Because I
I'm
raised my
very true
voice,
to
I
this.
crashed out?
We
This
not
girl
gonna do
is
that.
Shout out
funny.
to your
You
wig
know,
crashing out. Shout out to
I'm
your
very,
Payless Timu wig
very
crashing
true
out.
to this.
Shout out
You
to me
know.
wearing my natural hair. Shout out to us not being the same, sis. Shout out to me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
You
you.
welcome, bitch.
Thank
Now,
you.
Miss
We gonna
You
tell
Hawkins
you what
finna
you
welcome,
beat
won,
your
bitch.
Bob.
ass up.
You
You won
I
welcome.
another
ain't gonna
miserable
lie.
bitch
Okay.
award
And so
tonight, Bob.
Kelly,
She
just
ate
have it,
that.
single mom.
Congratulations.
Because at the end of
Here's
the
an
night,
L for
that bed
you,
is
Kelly,
cold, mama.
bitch.
That bed
And
is
a
cold, bitch.
elote,
When
bitch.
you gotta cuddle
You
up with
take this
your
elote and
child.
this
Miss
motherfucking
Hawkins ate
Modelo,
that
bitch.
When you
And
up.
gotta
you go
cuddle
sit in
with
the
your
motherfucking
I
corner,
child.
ain't gonna
hoe.
You
lie.
You
gotta
better take
cuddle
this
with your
motherfucking hello type
mama.
bitch.
You gotta cuddle with your
And you better not
baby.
get this
You
motherfucking
gotta
burrito
cuddle with
oil
your
sauce on my
baby.
carpet,
Your
hoe.
son husband.
Eat
Or
that
you
shit
gotta
nicely,
cuddle with
Your
your
bitch.
son
son.
husband. It gets bad, huh? Nights are lonely, ain't they?
We got W's
Nights
in
are
the
lonely,
motherfucking
bitch.
room, bitch.
Nights are lonely, bitch. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Your son
It's
husband is
bad.
fucking crazy.
You gonna be all right. I
No.
promise you will.
Miss
One day.
Hawkins was eating that ass
Just
up
not
now.
today.
So wait a minute. You want
Just
from
not
so wait
today.
a minute. You want from
Yes.
trolling to getting
Hey,
trolled is what happened?
Kelly, look at
No,
the W.
I
Kelly,
got a bitch out of retirement. I done turned
Facts.
the bitch into a
yo,
troll
Kelly,
tonight.
Smelly.
Done troll into a
that's
troll.
for you,
This is
Kelly.
how you do this shit. I be telling you, I hate a quiet, nasty ass, soul having ass bitch. I always bring them to the surface. This is what I do.
Everybody knows
This
how
ain't the
I
first and it
move.
won't
You
be the
didn't
last.
do nothing.
Phoenix, I
Do
just
you
got
see
Phoenix.
the
I
man?
had Phoenix in here saying
Okay, so
all
here's what
type
we
of
do.
fucked up shit.
Here's
That
what we
bitch wish
do.
I got raped. I don't even
He's
troll
so
like that. You
miserable.
hoes got nasty
What?
souls.
He's so
What?
And I
miserable.
love that.
Rape
That
is
is
Congratulations, bitch.
unite.
crazy.
Your
Hell no.
baby
Am
That's
I
hormones are
right?
live,
crazy.
ho.
Single mothers unite.
Congratulations. You finally shed your
Indiana, right?
succubus
I'm
serpent
good.
skin tonight,
I'm
bitch.
good. Y'all got it. Single mothers unite. I'm good. Y'all got it.
Autobots.
Your days are numbered,
Oh,
bitch.
they
Trump
can
wants you
never
the fuck
be.
out of here. You,
Look at
your
you. You
Modelo's, your
failed at
avocados,
life.
and your limes and
What are you
motherfucking tortillas,
talking
bitch, is
about?
about to be
How
cleaned the
come
fuck
my
out of
days
here.
be numbered?
So it's not even
You
gonna
have
mean
no
anything,
man,
bitch.
sis.
You are
You
about to be
didn't
the
get
fuck out of
married,
here,
sis.
bitch.
Does your
You can
child
keep
even
faking
have the
on this
last name
motherfucker
of
like
his
you are a
father?
legal
Does
immigrant,
your
bitch.
child even have the
We
last?
both know you
How
ain't gonna
is
show.
your
You got a
bastard
green
doing?
bean, but you ain't got no green
How
card,
is
hoe.
your bastard
I
doing?
hear it in your motherfucking
How is
accent.
your
You might have
bastard?
grew up here, bitch, but
How
you not.
is
You
your
not. You
bastard?
not me, bitch.
Can you answer my
You wanna
question?
be me, bitch.
How is your
Golden, you a
Everybody
bastard?
damn
wants to be
lie,
a black
Golden.
woman.
I'm curious.
No, I'm
Bitch is
not. She eating
bitch is
that
The
ass up.
jealousy
cosplaying a
of
black
ugly
woman.
This
bitches
a
Yeah,
will
good
right.
never
rap
cease to
battle.
Yeah.
amaze me. They see me, and instead of being grateful
Yeah.
that I'm in their presence,
Good rap
they act
battle.
like this, right? They get no niggas, their pussy is
Girl, why
whack,
don't you
they're
go take
goofy, they
that
can't
aggression
keep
out
a
on the
nigga,
gym,
and they see
bitch?
somebody like
What you
me and
miss your
envy
day
it,
today?
and wait to the
Cause you are
opportunity
so
to talk
angry.
shit.
Bitch,
I
go
respect
lift
it.
a
But if
titty
you
up
could
out
just
of
be
this
you
earth,
for moment
bitch.
1 minute, we'd be
Go do
good.
something
But you
productive.
can't. I'm everything you wish you
You
was,
need to lay
sweetie.
off the
You would
motherfucking
never.
steroids, bitch.
You would never be as
Lay off the
intelligent,
steroids, hoe.
accomplished, gorgeous,
Or and the
sexy
motherfucking
body,
raw
every
eggs,
fucking
Hold
thing.
on,
bitch.
y'all. I got
Smooth,
a question.
classy.
I got a
Everything is
question.
me. And also able to switch it up and get ratchet with ugly ratchet bitches. You'll never.
I got a question. And Golden, why you in here being fake? Why is you messaging Pumpkin talking shit?
I said what I
Cause
said. I
people
said
got
Pretty
deep hate
Kelly
and
was
envy
doing
and
too
animosity
much and
towards
was
Kelly,
being
and they
hating
wait
a
for the
hating
perfect
asshole at
opportunity
first.
to let
Yes,
that
I
shit
did.
spread.
Listen,
And I respect it.
When Kelly hate on you?
I already said that. I said this to Kelly already. Like, I already
What
How
you
she
said
said
hate
this.
to
on you?
me?
I said, no, I
You
didn't
said it
say
after you
nothing.
got
I,
exposed.
s- no,
You didn't say
I
it to her.
said
You
in
said it
general, honey,
after
we know I do
Pumpkin
too much. What
Pumpkin
I
attacked you
said,
and
I
said,
can say what I
she
just
said,
said.
Golden, you
What
was
I
just in my
said
back.
was Pretty Kelly was being a hating asshole. When she first came on, when she said something about cause she told the girl that was just in here, she said like sent me rolling eyes or something. I'm like, yeah, she being a hating asshole. Cause you was initially. You were triggering.
Wow.
No,
No,
can
tell
I
me what
talk?
I
Can I
said.
talk? Can I
Tell me, because
talk? Real quick.
first of all, I could
Can
never
I
be a hoe because y'all bitches
talk?
have more than two bodies. I
Can I
don't, and I'm
talk?
38. But y'all are younger
Right.
than me with more bodies than me,
That's
but
so
somehow I'm the
lovely.
hoe.
I love
I
that for
don't
you,
get it. I've
sis.
been
I
married
love that.
twice.
Cause you know
Y'all
me. I
can't fuck
love
with me
that. I
body
love
wise.
that.
Y'all are slut whores,
I
nothing,
love
worthless
that. Don't
bitches.
do too much with
And
me. I
mind
love
you,
that.
I never spoke about anybody personally or
I
directly.
know
Y'all
that,
took it
girl.
personal
I know
because you
that.
fucking jealous of me. But you would
Right.
get so
I'm
much more from me just being kind and
not
asking
me. Not
questions because
me.
Oh,
I
this
add
Not
bitch is
me.
value to
still
bitches'
Not
lives
yelling.
and I
me.
care about
Girl,
people. But
I'm
instead
not
of
about to
being
scream
cool,
with you,
y'all
girl.
want to do shit like this. It's
I'm not about
Can
to
we bring a
disgusting.
scream with
peace
you,
That's
treaty
why
to
girl.
this
you're never
I'm not
gonna
gonna
situation?
be shit.
Is there
Yeah, I'm
a
not gonna
peace treaty
scream.
we can
Yeah,
add to
I'm
this
cool.
situation?
I'm very neutral.
Yeah,
However,
it's about
I
time to
did
make peace now.
say I did
You're not
say
neutral doing that,
when
Golden. Because
I
listen,
can I speak
hold on,
today or
hold on, wait. Let me
tomorrow?
say
Did you
this.
ask
Let
me
me
a
say
question? Do
no.
you want me to answer or what?
I don't want
The
you to
fuck?
answer.
Like,
I don't want you to answer nothing at all.
okay, so why you talking to me?
You wasn't being
Fuck what you talking
neutral.
to me for?
You wasn't being neutral.
I
That's why
was
Pumpkin
in the conversation.
attacked
I
you
said what
and
I said in
exposed
the
you.
message to both of them. I said what I said. What I said was in the introductory, the girl sent me a rolling eyes. And I responded like Pretty Kelly being a hating asshole. Cause she was at hold on, hear me out before you start yelling. At introduction, when what's his name? Phil said what he said, and you immediately start triggering. He said something about if somebody was a fat girl, da da da. You start immediately going for fat girls, da da da. Then she posted her picture, and I was like, nah, yeah, she being a hating asshole because you look good in your fucking picture, like type shit. And then as the conversation started to proceed, I was like, basically, she is not targeting. If she's specifically aiming at you, she a hating asshole because you look the fuck good, bitch, in your picture, period. And anybody that saw her PTR, she looked good in her picture. Did y'all see her PTR? If y'all did, she looked the fuck good in her picture. So that's anybody that says she don't look good, that's a hating asshole, period. But I stand on the fact that Pretty Kelly was not targeting her specifically. So that's what makes me neutral. Period.
You can't be neutral if you was in the back channel
That's
saying that I was doing
neutral.
some hating
It
shit.
ain't.
I
I,
wasn't
I
speaking about
told you
nobody.
that, girl.
Let me
I
ask you a
said you
question,
was being
Golden.
a hating asshole.
How could I be a hating
You
asshole if I've
were
never seen this
initially, you were
girl
being a
and
hating
had
asshole
no clue
initially.
that
Yes,
she
you
was
were.
fat? And
You
mind you,
were
my
initially,
issue with
girl. I'm not
fat
about to
was
yell.
health.
Let me calm it down.
By
You were
caring about
initially being
somebody's
a
health,
hating
that makes me
asshole.
a hater? What are we
No,
talking about?
because do you
What are
know
we talking about?
facts? Because a person is fat does not mean they're
No, but
pre-diabetic or
I already
diabetic.
said I
Do you
was
know
being
that?
funny with that, but I didn't know that neither one of you
I
were fat.
this was
Listen,
prior
listen,
to me.
listen.
I said that
I
prior.
didn't know neither one of you were fat bitches, but now I
I'm
know.
not
I
fat,
wasn't talking
girl.
about y'all
I'm not fat.
directly. I
I'm
wasn't
not
talking about y'all
fat. We
directly
were
because I didn't
talking
know
about
anything about
her.
you.
I'm not fat.
Hold
I
on,
was
hold on,
referring
hold
to
on, hold on,
her.
hold on. I've been a YouTuber for 18 years, and my whole
Good
channel
job.
was dedicated to helping women get fit and lose weight. Why would
Good
I
job. I
hate
love
on
that.
fat bitches?
I love that. I'm not
Why would
fat,
I
so it doesn't
hate
apply
on
to me,
fat
but I
bitches?
love
It's
that.
illogical. Do you get that?
Right.
So
It doesn't pertain to me. So I get that. I love that for you. I love that for the people, of course, the bitches that it applies to. However, when you initially said what you said and the girl sent me rolling eyes, I responded to her by saying you were being a hating ass bitch because you were. Because when she sent that rolling eyes, she obviously felt hit, and I felt in the midst of that conversation when Phil said what he said and you responded and she responded and you responded, I'm like, it seemed like you targeted her. And that's when I sent that message in response of her rolling eyes. And then as y'all carried on the conversation, I was like, okay, yeah, she was not targeting you specifically. It was just like in general. But initially, when she felt hit, y'all start going at it. And I'm like, bitch, you PTR, bitch, you're not fat. She obviously a hating asshole because you're not fat. The fuck? That's how I took it.
Golden, I don't know why you up
She
in
didn't
the
see,
motherfucking
did
line.
y'all see her
I
PTR? She did
don't know
not look
why you in
fat. That
lying
girl
like
ain't look fat.
Kelly has not made no comment towards nobody, attacked anybody for you to
I
say
did
somebody
not
being
say that.
nobody targeted Pumpkin.
I didn't
Nobody
say
knew she was
that.
fat. Nobody knew that. Nobody knew that.
Didn't say
Okay.
that. When she PTR'd, and then the girl, Kelly, Pretty Kelly, when the girl PTR'd, and Pretty Kelly starts saying, that's why you're fat, your baby daddy, no kids, the
wait,
son,
I didn't
no
say that
husband, da da
immediately after
da.
that. Don't do that. She
Was
was
it
saying
before or
things
was
to
it
me.
after?
Hold on,
Am I
wait.
tripping?
She was saying numerous things to me. One thing that everybody can vouch for that has known me for
Uh-huh.
years, I never start with anybody, right? But when people
Mm-hmm.
start with me, I always finish. I
Look,
had wait,
battalion.
wait, 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 wait.
Uh-huh.
because I
Okay.
didn't interrupt you. I
True.
didn't send out any subliminals. I didn't say anything
Mm-hmm.
directly. I wasn't referring to any of you because
I
I knew nothing about you. I was just sharing my thoughts. Y'all decided to take it personally. So then when the bitches and the hoes and all of that shit started flying, that's when I got disrespectful. Y'all having back
right.
channel
It don't say
hold
y'all, cause
on,
I the
hold on,
only
hold
thing.
on.
Okay, go ahead. Go
You
ahead.
just
Carry on.
admitted, you just
And
admitted,
did
y'all,
and
hold
did.
on. Y'all had a back channel conversation
It
about
wasn't a
what I,
conversation,
hold on, what
girl.
are we doing?
All right, go
Y'all
ahead.
had a
I'll be
back
quiet.
channel conversation when I wasn't speaking about neither of you. Cause even from your picture, how could I tell you're fat? I don't know that, right?
Right,
So
right.
all I was doing was sharing my thoughts. You decided to take it personal. Then you all wanted to go on an attack. That's on you because you can't control your emotions and come from a logical stance. And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all both want to play the disrespect game, I'm from New York. I'm really good at that. So we can
We
play
love
that
that.
game. But I
Mm-hmm.
prefer
So,
not to and to have, hold on, wait,
right.
to have an intellectual conversation. But I heard
Mm-hmm.
from earlier, no matter how we
Mm-hmm.
tried to steer the conversation in the direction of thought-provoking shit, y'all kept going
Mm-hmm.
to basic level relationship, children, nothing, meaningless, worthless, common sense, basic logic conversation. And everybody was in the chat complaining about it. Scroll up. We like, what the fuck is this? Why does this keep happening? It's because of y'all too. That's a fact.
Kelly, you know what too though? Let me
Mm-hmm.
just let me just clarify something,
But
Golden, right? When I, just
okay.
real quick, and I ain't trying to get involved in
You
you know,
good,
but
you good, go ahead.
the thing is when I asked her that scenario, right? And I said, is that delusion, Kelly? And Kelly said, yes, that's fucking delusion. I remember. She said, yes, that's
Uh-huh.
fucking delusion. That's what triggered Pumpkin. And that's when she came
Right,
off mic and that's when things spiraled out of control. So at the end of the
right.
day, nobody targeted nobody. We're just trying to
I
change the
agree.
path of the conversation.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying? Nah,
You
but you was
agree, but you in the
co-signing though.
back
You was
channel telling a
co-signing.
bitch
But
that I'm
you
being
No,
a
no,
hater
no.
be
when I'm
honest.
not
But
speaking
you're
So
not
about her
trying to
directly.
argue
when
with
when
me.
it when it's my turn, let
I
me
just want
know.
to put something in
Say
it. You
what?
know, I heard you
When
guys.
it's my turn, let me
Go
know.
ahead, Pop.
Okay, I just heard you guys, talk for a little quite a while. I just want to say this. All of you guys are beautiful. And beauty is
For
in the eye
sure.
of the holder.
For
So
sure.
like this conversation and this
Really
argument.
fun as fuck.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like messing up the vibe. You guys are all beautiful. Because the man who
Yeah.
look at you is how he love you, and what's matter the man you love, right? So at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, what the people say outside, it really don't matter. That's why everybody have a problem with the social media, trying to look this way, that way, the other way, and the men don't even like it. They're like, bro, I like you like this, but she trying to look like somebody else. So what I'm saying is, the fat woman is beautiful to the eye of the holder. Some people like fat women. Some people like
For
skinny
sure.
girls. Some people like, okay,
For
so
sure.
let's make peace, and make love, and have some talk
Yeah.
about something else, and just let's
And
switch the
you know
conversation.
what? Pretty Kelly. So I just want to speak my piece. At the end of the day, when Phil asks the question, is this delusional? If someone says she fat and is they supposed to say she's skinny, da da da, and when the girl sent me the rolling eyes or whatever pertaining to you, and I initially said you was a hating asshole because when she sent the rolling, well, when prior to her sending the rolling eyes, when he asked that question, you start going in now fat girls. I guess she felt hit. I'm not fat. I can't equate to that. It doesn't involve me. However, when she felt hit and sent me the rolling eyes, I'm like, obviously she a hating asshole. I was saying that on the pretense of I genuinely felt like, bitch, fat is beautiful. If she's dismissing the fact of beauty with fat, then bitch, she a hating asshole type shit. As the conversation, maybe I spoke too prematurely. As the conversation progressed, I was not, and if y'all were listening, I was not attesting or going against the grain of what you were saying as I adhered to the conversation as it was flowing. But at the introductory of it, I felt you was a hating asshole at initially because you start immediately going in on if you're fat, you got diabetes, pre-diabetes, da 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 da. She sent me the rolling eyes. I'm like, obviously she had, type shit. But as the conversation progressed, I gained more understanding on like, no, she wasn't targeting you. Maybe you just felt hit. And I said that in the midst of the conversation. So I'm not recanting what I'm saying, but I'm smoothing it out because I don't feel you a hating ass hoe. However, I could see why she felt hit because she fits the description of what you were talking about. So I'm a suck it up and say I apologize, because it wasn't like that. But that's how I initially felt. But I didn't hear, the conversation hadn't carried at that point.
But sis, how could you have genuinely felt like that when I'm pretty
Hmm.
positive that you and her
And I've
have
been in
more?
rooms with you a lot too.
But you and her, right? Just being honest, are
Uh-huh.
younger than me. Just being honest, and most likely
How old are
y'all have more.
you?
Hold on. Most likely y'all have more bodies than me, right? So how do I become the hoe in that scenario? I'm not
Who called you a
understanding it.
hoe? What are you talking about?
You
Nobody's
just said
talking
a
about
hating
hoes. I
ass
never said a
hoe.
hoe. No,
I'm
I
confused.
wasn't not literally like, oh,
Oh, so like
hoe,
hoe
but
is
I'm
like a
I'm
term of
saying like
endearment or
just
something, or a
I
figure
should
of
have said
speech?
bitch then,
A
maybe.
figure of speech?
Not
Oh,
because I
okay,
wasn't
okay,
saying you're a hoe,
okay.
like as far as like you're fucking everybody. You got
Oh,
so
that's
many
what, but
bodies. I
that's what
wasn't
hoe
even
means.
thinking that
So
deep.
I figure you
Yeah,
say what you
okay,
mean and mean
no.
what you
Well,
say,
my
no?
apologies, sister girl. I was not thinking
Yeah,
that
but
deep
that's
when I said the
crazy,
word
bro. And
hoe.
wait. This is the
Yeah,
deep
I
part
was
for me.
not,
Golden, hear me
honestly.
out. Hear me out. If right now
Okay.
Schmelly sent me rolling eyes, I wouldn't
Hmm.
assume he was referring to you. I
I
would ask
knew
him,
what she was
hold on, hear me out,
referring
hear me
to.
out. I would ask him, hey, what's the rolling eyes for? So for you to
No,
instantly
I
assume
knew.
it was about
Girl,
me,
you
I
that's
said a
just
big,
roll
nigga
my
right?
say rolling
eyes,
eyes.
and my rolling eyes mean golden uphill line like a
That's a that's
motherfucker.
a that's a
You a
nigga. I'm
lie,
talking
and the
about a
truth
bitch
ain't
sending
in you.
you, girl, as a woman, you know what the fuck going on, given the status of the conversation.
Hold
Come
on.
on now.
Can I get something straight? Clarity, you there? Clarity, you there?
Obviously not.
Clarity might have said
Or
fuck,
is
fuck
he,
this.
she?
This goes back to all the relationships. You know what? I love these conversations when they turn into these arguments. It lets me know why y'all struggle in relationships. Cause Golden sat there and
I
heard
don't.
Kelly say nothing and called her a hater, right? And
It was.
totally disregarded and ignored all the racist ass shit that was coming out of Pumpkin's mouth. Called her a
What racist?
Mexican,
That was
said she need to
prior.
be
That was
deported.
prior. I didn't
Oh
that
my
came later.
God.
That came
Oh my
later.
God. She
Though.
immediately
Be
attacked
real
her
if you're gonna
skin color,
speak.
everything.
That was
Come on.
later.
But you
That was
supported it all,
prior to
Golden.
her saying all
How
of
are you
that.
a neutral party supporting it all? I've
That's
never done
what
nothing
I'm
to you.
saying. That
I've
was
never done nothing to you.
later.
So who's the real hater? Because I've never done anything to you. And I've
Listen, what
always
I'm
been kind to
saying
you and involved
is,
you in conversation.
girl, you
So
either
I'm
gonna hear me
confused.
or you not, accept
I'm
it or
It's
confused.
not. What I
almost
said
like you
was, at the end of the
secretly
day,
jealous,
And you
Golden.
light
at the
skinned too,
Come
so are
end
on.
you
of the
Mexican?
day, girl, at the end of the day, I said
You
what I
ain't gotta
said. Like
What you
initially,
said was
this is how
illogical,
I
sis.
felt.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Everybody ain't that logical.
Okay.
Initially,
I
that's
get
how
it.
I felt. And then when the conversation carried, I got a little bit more substance. And then that changed the
But
narrative.
there was
And that's
never any
life. That's
substance
how
in
shit
either of your
go.
conversations.
Well, wait a minute,
The
ladies, because
hell?
you're
That's
not
how
saying.
shit
No,
go.
wait a minute, Miss Lady. You're not saying it changed the narrative, but it changed your
It
perspective.
did.
But wait a minute, because what you're talking about
Oh,
is
yeah,
your
exactly. The
perspective, not the
perspective.
narrative
That's the word.
itself.
Exactly. I agree.
So when it
It
changed your
changed the
perspective,
perspective.
when it changed your
Exactly.
perspective, it also changed your approach to the situation. And this is
Exactly.
where things
Exactly.
go boom at between you and Kelly now.
Exactly. I agree. I agree. I agree. Not narrative, perspective. I totally agree.
Clarity.
So
You sat
I
here and
got
watched that
a
whole
lot more
thing. Did that make
clarity,
any fucking sense
and it
to you
did.
how I'm
It
able to share my
should.
thoughts and somehow it turns into all of this?
No,
Or
look,
is
it
there
only
some
turned into
underlying
all. This
jealousy
was
or
never
hate or
about
weirdo shit happening that I'm not
uh
aware of?
Well,
sister
Golden
girl. This was never
and
about
reality
me and
is
you. It was
well,
never
well,
about me and
You
well,
you.
made
Golden.
it
Wait a
about
minute,
that.
because initially in
I
reality,
did. However,
but
what I'm saying was
but
it was
here's the
never
thing.
about
Check me
you
out
and
real
I.
quick. Where
Hold
where
on,
where it
let
goes
Clarity
left
go
at
real quick.
where it goes left at is because it was between Pretty Kelly and the other chick. What happened was when you intervened, as opposed to staying neutral, you chose sides because of how you felt, and you felt as though your
She
perspective and
sent
taking your
me.
approach. Wait a minute, Golden.
Go ahead.
Listen,
Okay.
when that no matter how you cut, when you chose the response from a position of choosing sides, at this point you started to indulge in the side you chose. See, I can choose because I chose sides don't mean shit. What counts is how I act in the process of choosing sides. So when you
Right.
choose
I'm grown. I
sides,
know that
even when
part.
you go into the even when you go into the chat, you'll see how you end what you directly attack, not indirectly. You directly
Yeah,
attack,
for sure.
but when
I
you
said
directly
that.
attacked her, you did it from a subtle position
Right.
as if,
And I
wait
explained
a
that
minute,
and
chat,
apologized
Golden,
for it.
but
Like it
but
wasn't that. It
I get,
was it
but
was
but what I'm saying,
different.
Golden, I get you. But when you did it,
Okay.
you have to own the fact that you, and when in your attack,
I already owned it.
right. I get that, but you also got to own you wanted to smoke too. That's why you did
I
what you did.
didn't. If I wanted to smoke, I would have been when that
No,
bitch was talking
listen, Golden,
shit.
Golden, Golden.
I
No,
would have
no,
been.
hear
It would
me
have been
out.
two bitches attacking versus one.
No, listen to what I'm saying.
You
I'm gonna
did
take it
attack
off. I'm
her.
gonna take it off the
I
females.
did
If me,
not. I
wait
did
a minute.
not.
Listen, I'm gonna take it off for y'all. If me and Phil are going back and forth, right, and in the process,
Hmm.
Diabolical's a part of the conversation, but
I
he had
get
chosen a
it.
side.
I
So, all
get
right, now
it.
what happens is when Diabolical gets disrespectful, and then I respond to the disrespect,
I get
even in
it.
Diabolical offering me the apology, that doesn't mean I have to accept it. That's still a choice. You understand what I'm saying? So even in the apology after being accepted, the approach in dragging it out now destroys the apology in itself. See
Well,
what happened?
fuck the apology. Like, I'm not asking for acceptance. I don't even know you motherfuckers. I'm not asking for acceptance. However, what I'm saying is explaining how things unfolded. At introductory, this is what happened. This is how I felt. And as the conversation proceeded and I got more context and more subtitles and more substance, I gained knowledge to react a different type of way. If I was a true hater against fucking Pretty Kelly, it would have been two bitches against one, and it
I
was
got you,
not that
Golden.
going
So
on.
in the
I
process
had
of
an
a I
initial,
got you, Golden.
hold on. I had an initial response. After that initial response and the conversation progressed, you did not hear me saying nothing obliging Pretty Kelly. I was actually on her side on some shit like, okay, she was not talking about you specifically, but initially I felt like she was, hence my response. I recanted that. I'd apologize about that. And I don't give no fuck about the reaction at this point. I don't. Cause what more do you want for me to do?
But
I
no,
said
now
it.
here's the thing, right? I got you. But Golden, here's the thing.
Like what?
No, listen to what I'm saying. Once I
Okay.
apologize, it's over with.
Right.
Me still indulging in the conversation after the apology.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is, like you said,
Right.
those feelings arise again now.
Okay.
And when them feelings arise again, the conversation goes back to resorts back to the very beginning as if apology was never thrown on the table now. You feel what I'm saying? So normally
That's
when an individual apologizes,
immature.
they walk
That's
away
adolescent.
from the
Yeah.
situation. Because after I apologize, if I build on it from
That's
the
real
time
taller.
explain what happens is that same energy resurfaces now.
Okay. So
Resurfaces
what you need
because
to say? Y'all need to say something, let it go. Like what? Say what you gotta say and let it go.
yeah, pretty much.
I'm here for
I
it. Yeah. Say
apologize.
what you gotta
I
say and let it go.
owned it. Let's keep it
But
pushing.
hear
Let's
that part, because that's big of me to even say those words to motherfuckers I don't even know. But it was genuine because I did feel that
We
way
don't care. You
initially.
ain't gotta
I
apologize.
felt, yeah,
Just quit trying to
yeah, facts. I don't,
just
but I
quit
did.
going back
So
to the quit going
I
back
did
to the
not, I
initial.
felt that way initially. And then
Okay.
I recanted it because of the substance of the conversation. That's how I felt initially. Like y'all ain't never felt no
Okay,
way and had to take
let's
it back
move
real
on.
quick. Like
It,
Yeah,
it's
let's move
cool.
on.
okay, we
We
can
trying
move
to move
on.
on.
Do
That
you
Thank
have
was
any
nice. She
you.
substance?
apologized,
Do you
and
have
then
any
Thank
said she can
you.
substance
move
or
on.
value to add to the title, Convo?
Yeah. You said golden.
Yes. Do you have any substance or value to add to the title?
I
well,
don't.
sure.
I
I would
think I
like to
spoke
hear
about
you
it
guys
earlier.
I
I'm
would
not
like to give
sure.
a shout out to Clarity for finding a solution. I appreciate that guy.
Great guy,
Yeah,
great
Clarity
guy.
gave us
I'm
clarity.
really I don't want no smoke here, y'all. I promise
No,
you.
but what I learned,
Okay.
you know what I gained tonight?
And I
Diabolical, I want to be honest with you because you said people don't gain things on Clubhouse. I did gain something.
okay.
I now
Okay.
learned that because I don't be thinking of people like this, and I think everybody's coming from a genuine place. But now I know people hold on to animosity or issues with people, and they wait for the opportunity to jump in or be a part of some shit where that person gets attacked. And I respect that, right? I don't, but neither here nor there. Um, a lot of people have hate and animosity towards me, and I learned that. So now knowing that, I'm gonna move differently with people and realize, wow, they might be a fucking hater because when they look in the mirror, they see shit, and when I look in the mirror, I see something different. So I get it.
You're
Well,
not
well,
referring to me,
I
right?
no, no, that
Because
was in
I've
general.
been
That
in, hold
was in
on real
general,
quick.
Golden.
I've been in several rooms with you,
God
Pretty Kelly. And you
damn.
know that. I've been in several rooms with you and I've never had no nothing. But in that initial point, I felt how she was
Wait, why
feeling.
are you re-explaining yourself? Do you think
No,
I was referring to
because
you?
I feel like it was,
Why don't you
no,
just
can I just
ask
say
me instead
this?
of assuming?
Okay, I'll ask you. So, were you referring to me when you just
No,
said
not at
that?
all. Why would you think that?
Because of the status of the
Hey, Pretty Kelly,
situation.
you a piece of work, boy. You's a piece of fucking
Yeah,
work.
because of the status of the situation.
y'all, you know what y'all
That's
do?
it.
Y'all like to bother my sister Kelly. And when you
Oh
get
gosh.
bit,
Y'all like to be
now you want to
instigators.
go
That's
down there
all.
and complain. That's
Y'all
all.
gotta be instigators. That's
Nah,
all.
I'm
Y'all
not
like
instigating.
problematic
I'm not instigating.
stuff.
I'm not
Cause you know, a
instigating.
woman versus a
Hey,
woman,
Goldie, you
like, ain't
know
nobody
I
gonna
am
take
no
it.
instigator. I am so far from an instigator.
Yeah, but it's like, can someone feel me for I see someone in the chat feeling, can you feel it? Like it was an initial
I just
reaction.
want to
I'm
be everybody's
human.
friend, Golden.
I
I just want to be
know
everybody's
you
friend.
always
But nobody
very
wants to be my friend. And that
no,
makes
Cat
me
Pretty
so
Kelly,
sad.
you always
Chucky wanted to be
neutral.
everybody's friend too. You want to play? What the fuck?
No, she always neutral in the room. She speak her piece. She do her shit. I get it. However, I had an initial reaction. I am a whole human being like all y'all. Okay, I had an initial reaction, and as the conversation progressed, my energy shifted.
Why can't
That's
y'all be?
normal.
I wonder
The
why people
hell?
can't be adults.
That's
Cause right,
normal.
I've flipped
That's
out in
normal.
rooms before and I've made mistakes. But you know what I do? I
It's a
wholeheartedly,
mistake.
I just apologize. I don't try to
I did
re-explain
that
it.
several
But you keep
times.
trying to re-explain it. Just apologize and
Cause
leave it alone.
they emphasized. But okay, I'm gonna let it go. All
We can
right,
move
next.
on.
I want
Yeah,
to see you PTR
next.
though, Golden. You ain't PTR yet
I
though. I'm curious.
will.
She ain't about the PTO.
Ciao.
You
Okay.
want Golden? You say for Golden to PTR herself
Yeah, cause she was talking on. I mean, the conversation is done though, but I was just curious. That's something she said she would.
about
She
what
said
her
she
body
will.
look like?
Yeah, like her body. I'm just out of curiosity. I mean, out of curiosity.
she
I probably
she
shouldn't
had,
even
Oh,
ask.
you
she
got
brought it
that
up,
San.
Clarity. They
Oh,
had
she
brought
Man,
it
did.
up.
that's hard living to be wearing that San Fran shit, boss.
Hey man, I'm out in Cali though. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard right now though. You sound
Y'all
like you from
fucking
Philly, man. So
failed
y'all
me.
on the high horse right now. It's all good. Y'all
Y'all
deserve it though.
failed me on fucking prize picks. Fucking clowns.
Who? San
Yo,
Francisco?
Yeah.
yo.
Yeah, they failed me too.
Nah,
Man,
Kelly,
shit.
get on Phil now. Get
Nah,
on
don't get
Phil.
on me,
Yeah,
man. Don't get on
Phil.
me,
Phil.
man. I got enough heartbreak. I got enough heartbreak behind that shit,
Fuck
man.
you,
We
Fuck
Phil.
you.
we had like a decade. We had like a decade of we should have made it, man. Them niggas. We lost Debo. He got man. I don't even want to talk about that shit, bro. Them niggas is.
I won my
Don't
entire
act like
lineup
you
last
sad when
night,
you
though.
set this shit up.
Nah, I'm just saying, bro. That's me at the
Go ahead,
game. Like
Kelly. What you say?
I've been a Niner fan since a kid, bro. It's just that I'm from Sacramento, but we had two teams. You had the Raiders and the Niners. Raiders done left us. I've been a Niner though all my life, and them niggas, man. Anyways, I'm just glad Philly won though, because I'm getting tired of Kansas City.
Look, y'all, I won my entire lineup last night. Let's fucking go. Shout outs to ChatGPT.
That's a
PTR.
game.
Risky.